We are live from
Yay.
Seattle.
All right.
Izzy, we're already in Seattle, Izzy.
It's raining so much.
How's it going, folks? Thanks for joining us on this Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
Deep dogging it. Raw dog. I don't know what I was trying to say.
Putting it right in their butt.
Yeah.
Consensually.
Always.
Yeah. It
Always.
might, or, even it might have accidentally slipped in there. I don't know. I don't know what happens.
That's happened.
It's like, whoops, that's the wrong hole.
Yeah.
I'm a goofus. Feel good, though? Can we leave it in there?
My dog, I do declare, what have I done with my wieners?
Though you missed it. You didn't do the I'm Mike and I'm Jay thing.
Oh, dude.
What? Was that got ash in it?
No, it was straight apple juice. I forgot to put the mixer in, and I just took a big jug.
Hey, that's how men in the 1800s did it, sir.
Nicholson,
grow a pair of hair on your fucking balls, there, old missy.
Man, it's been a day. It's like there's a full moon out there. I keep fucking stuff up.
You ain't no daisy. You ain't no daisy at all.
I do declare. Oh man.
Yeah, but dude, you missed because if you had said, it was like, just do I'm Mike and we'll do that real quick.
Okay, I'm Mike.
I'm Koka Shuko. Do you guys? I'm Koga Shuko. You guys know what we're talking about. That's actually, I'm not going to give that away. Who said, what villain in what movie says I was known as Victor Geisman, but now I'm Koga Shuko?
I know what it is.
Yeah, you know what it is, but I don't want anybody else. If you know it, you can shout out in the chat. Fuck it. But I just wanted to see if anybody knew that movie. I like it. Do you know the story of Romulus and Remus, sons of Mars, god of war? He's like, no, he's like, in a quarrel, Romulus killed Remus. That's a great story.
Hey, Jagerbomb with the first super chat of the night. Thanks, buddy. He says, I got wham all up in me. And
That's
now
good.
I got wham all up. I got wham all up in Mister, and now it's infected. I think he's talking about it.
Sometimes the condom breaks. What do you want to say? I mean, it's a defective condom. We didn't mean for that to happen.
Phew. I hate it when that happens.
That's what happens when you get your condoms with Gene Simmons' face on them and they glow in the dark.
I got this from a Burger King bathroom. It's gotta be strong.
Dude, I did watch that. You guys know what that is, but I watched that movie a couple of days ago. That Koga Shuko.
Yeah, Enigma got it, by the way. Robert Patrick.
Oh, yeah, okay, so it's Double Dragon. But dude, I know it's a piece of trash. I know it's a dirty, like, butt stain, but I love that movie. I don't know why. It's got so much nostalgia for me.
It's one of the Patreon picks, so it's going to be a review coming up before too long.
I love it. It's one of the good. Dude, I really do. I know it. Like, it's so fucking corny. Scott Wolf is terrible in it. So Mark Dacascos is all right. He's actually a pretty good Jimmy. And then I can't believe Robert Patrick lowered himself with that fucking haircut to be that guy. But it was. I mean, I still enjoy it but I love Double Dragon growing up. So, and I remember Cody and I went and seen that in the theaters, dude. But I knew it was bad then in 1994 because when we went and see it in the theater, we were the only fucking people in that movie theater, dude. It was like it only been out for like a couple of days.
I can't believe you guys saw that in the theater. I'm surprised it lasted a couple days in the theaters.
Yeah, well, it was probably 4 days, but we went. Yeah, but we went with Mark, my uncle, and his girlfriend at the time, and he made us like sit far away from him so they probably could fuck in the back seat or something. I remember literally that's what happened. Mark was like, "You boys go up there and sit by yourselves. I'm gonna sit back here." I was like, years later, I knew. I was like, "You were fingering her in the movie, you disgusting pervert." But yeah. I love that movie though, man. Like that one terrible line though with Scott Wolf was like, Mark Dacascos is like, I've never seen a mailman move that fast. And he's like, I was like, it's so cringy, but it's good.
Oh shit, you froze. Oh, there you go. Yeah, dude. Speaking of Robert Patrick's hair, there's a line. Are you caught up on Peacemaker?
No. I think I'm 2 episodes behind.
Okay, there's a line in the new one where he's talking to the cop and he's super racist, so he says something racist to her, and he says something like, "I love your people's noodles," and she's like, "I love how your hair looks like Guy Fieri."
Yeah,
she burns him fucking bad.
Well, it's obvious. I mean, I think he was gonna make a superhero of himself called the White Dragon.
Yeah,
obviously, he is a White Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, if you guys get a chance to watch Peacemaker, you absolutely should. Not just for the intro alone, but I was watching it with Katie the other night, and I don't know, it's a bad mood or whatever's going on, but that intro, she always like, there's always she wants to skip it. I'm like, no, we can't skip it. I was like, I need this. I need this right now.
You must watch. You must watch. Yeah. Watch before Jupiter's cock. Watch.
I gotta take it in. But no, that show's awesome, man, because like Peacemaker, there's so many layers to that guy. Like he seems like a huge dick, and like he even deals with the stuff that he deals with his guilt over what happened in the Suicide Squad movie too.
Yep.
But he's a prick, but he's trying to be better. It's an awesome show, man. We got to figure that out.
He's like Shrek. There's onions to people. You got to peel
Yeah.
back a layer at a time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is a good show, dude. James Gunn's killing it.
Yeah, and we got to figure it out because we have screeners for that, and
I
we
think
got
it's going to be over by the time we even use them.
I know we got to figure it out so that we can have a review up like the day the last episode airs or whatever. So if you guys need to get caught up on that, get caught up on it. I can't get my words right. I'm a little
stroking.
I feel like it, dude. I feel like
you know what happened? You drank that pure apple juice, and what happened was for a moment you tasted what it was like to be a man. And it was just too much. I can't drink any apple juice, even if the apple juice is flavored with another kind of fruit. I myself can't do it.
I like to have a little bit of straight apple juice on the rocks and to slow sip it, but I just prefer to have a little bit of soda pop with my.
Well, dude, I swear to God, shots of apple juice is like fucking lightning bolts at my asshole. Like it literally goes right up there, and I gotta like, dude, I'll take it, and then I gotta shit for some reason. Like it's immediate.
Yeah,
like it just unlocks the secrets of my butt, and it says go poop.
It does get you.
I don't know why that is. It's the weirdest thing. I mean, I like Fireball apple juice, but that's about it.
That's what I was going to say. You did a shot of Fireball apple juice at the Wham meetup, and as Dr. Loomis, Jay stood on a picnic table. And this is back out where I play volleyball. It's a big gigantic bar, but the outside they have a big huge place with like tables and stuff. And there's signs everywhere that says "Do not stand on the tables."
I didn't see that sign. It was written in Greek
on the tables, and everybody's like, "Jay, do a toast as Loomis." Jay stands on the table and he's like, "Oh, good job," and he's going there and like. This lady who is very like a toy gun about the rules is standing there watching. She's like, "Hey, you get down off that picnic table." He's like, he responded to her as Loomis. He's like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
What did you say?
I don't know what I was gonna get down anyway or something. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. That was stupid because I'm glad we didn't get thrown out because I was being a drunken fool.
It could have gotten thrown out there.
It was funny. It was good.
They appreciated the tips though. The Whammers brought the tips that day, and they needed it because there was puke and there was bathroom fights, not between us, but a giant skinhead almost beat me up in the bathroom, and then lots of stuff happened. But it was a good time. It was a good time.
Well, he didn't beat you. He just put it in your butt.
He just threatened to. He's like, "Are you in here? Are you in here?" And I was
it Robert Patrick's bodyguard
could have been
from that Peacemaker show?
This guy was big. You saw him, right? He was huge.
I wasn't in the bathroom when that happened.
I was pissing next to Greg Harris, and we were laughing because it's like there's dudes in the bathroom stall talking to each other. And the next thing I know, this dude comes out. He's like, "Are you in here?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck me, Sally. Would you like? Can I give you $20 out of my wallet, good sir?"
Yeah, I was in there. I stood in the middle of these two urinals. Or no, I was in a urinal, and these two dudes came on either side of me when there was clearly more urinals that they could have chosen, and they were having a conversation with me in the middle. Yeah. So I just kept listening to what they were talking about. I thought for a second they were doing a drug deal, but it turns out it was actually just the other guy saying he was buying liquor.
Dude, that same exact bathroom. So when you walk in the bathroom, there's three urinals, right? And I was walking in, and another dude was walking in the exact same time at our game last week. And I had a moment of like, I want to get as far away from people as possible. So for some reason, I chose the middle urinal. And then he walks up, and he only has two options on my right or my left, but he takes the left one. But it's funny as fuck because he goes, "Oh, you're one of those guys, aren't you?" I was like, "I'm sorry, dude. I panicked. I picked the middle one. I knew I should have picked one of the other sides."
In my case, there was literally nobody else in there. These guys chose to do that. I thought I was going to get sandwiched by some sausages, but it didn't happen. But it was weird because I felt like we were all three having a moment. We don't know each other. Well, they know each other, but I didn't know them, and we had a moment with our cocks out and our hands pee-peeing, and I felt like I wanted to turn to him like, "My name is Jay. What is your name?" "I'm Adam." "I'm Gary." It's like, "Hey guys, how you doing?" "Well, we're all here." It just feels like because they are so close to you, and in that particular position, you feel like, I don't know, you're like meeting your kids, teachers or something. I don't know. You get all weird. You're like shake their hands, and are they doing good? I don't know.
Like these hands aren't going to fill themselves, boys. Are you ready? Oh,
that
like Robert Patrick and Tobey Maguire in the beginning of Tropic Thunder when they hold hands, and he's like, "Oh."
Yeah, it's like I read about this.
I've been on the Reddit message boards for sure
a lot lately, but it's only been on Star Trek Online. Well, and then I also go to the front page of Reddit and I just read some shit.
I spend way too much time on Reddit. It's a dark place, dude.
It really is. You fall down in the rabbit holes.
Too.
was gonna say something. Oh, this is not anything related to movies, but this is fucking crazy. I was just reading about this. So this guy
I'm gay.
yes, loving the cock since 1978, but that's
Good.
not the point here. There's a guy in Las Vegas that was an out of towner. I think he was from Arizona. Anyway, he went in, he won the jackpot on a slot machine. $250,000 was the jackpot, but the machine malfunctioned and didn't let him know that he'd won. It also didn't notify the casino or the staff that he'd actually won the money. He actually won. So he left thinking he'd lost. I don't know how much money he put into it, but it doesn't matter. But either way, what turns out, this is a feel-good story, guys. All right, get your fucking glasses of wine and lift them up and your nipples out. So what happened
in the lead
is the Gaming Commission of Nevada wound up tracking him down and giving him his fucking money about 2 weeks after he left.
No way.
I swear to God. Yeah, because here's the reason why too. I mean, they were like Dick Tracying it. Like they had to go through countless hours of surveillance footage. They had to track down where he'd spent his time. They had to interview other people at other casinos to find out what his name was or who he was. And the reason is also it's a feel good story. Yes, of course, the guy got $250,000, but the thing is, the casino had to report it to the Gaming Commission, because what would happen, I would assume, is that when they come in to look over those slot machines and make sure that the odds are stacked in a certain way that everybody has a chance to win, because the casinos aren't allowed to stack odds against so far. I don't know how it works, but they're not allowed to make the odds so bad you can't win.
Right.
So because they'll fine them. So I think what would happen is if they came in and were checking out the machines or something, the Gaming Commission, and they found out that one of those slot machines had actually rolled over and gave a jackpot and no one reported it and there was no record of it, they'd be fucked. They'd be fined.
Yeah.
And all sorts of shit.
Hey,
at least still a feel good story.
You imagine what's like sitting at home thinking that you lost a couple hundos at the casino and you're eating your fucking
that's what I was
scramby eggs, and some dude just knocks on your door. It's like, hello, sir, I got a check for you for $250,000. And then you just slam the door in his face. You're like, I ain't part of no Letter House Publishing, god damn it.
I like to imagine the guy kind of looks like a cross between Seth Rogen and Chris Farley, and he was sitting there balancing a bowl of like Frosted Flakes on his beer belly, and he was just eating it, and his underwear, and that's all he had on. And nobody liked him, and his girlfriend left him for another girl, and he was all fucking depressed and shit. And then all of a sudden he got a telephone ring, and it's actually confirmed. Hey, sir, are you so-and-so? Yes. You won $250,000. It's true. Yes. Did you play this? And then you're like, this is bullshit. He's like, no, sir, we're going to be there in a few minutes to present you with your check. Congratulations. Dude, I would first, if he didn't die of a heart attack because of diabetes or whatever, because he's fat, he'd probably get on the phone and call that old bitch up and be like, guess what, you carpet fuck? It's gone. The whole fucking shebang is gone, meaning my cock will never be inside you again, and I got $250,000. Now that's the movie I'd like to see.
Maybe they love each other, Jay.
It's
maybe he was excited maybe he was excited to tell her.
Then she'll be like, no, actually I'm pregnant.
Damn, fuck. What am I gonna do?
Another one bites the dust.
Now, see, I'm an optimistic person. Like people have, like we've talked on this channel before, and you've said something, and I'm like, you're being pessimistic, and then you'll say, no, I'm being a realist, and then everyone will agree with you, and I'll be like, fuck everyone, I'm not coming back to school ever. But like, you know me, I'm never. I'm an optimistic person when about like periphery stuff, but when something happens to me, something good, I'm very, 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 I instantly become a pessimist. I'm like, I don't believe it until it's in my hand or it's happening. Whatever good things have come my way in life, I've been skeptical from the second I heard it was happening to the second it was over with. And trust me, I annoy my family with this. Same thing with the kids. When Katie was pregnant with both the girls, I didn't want to paint the room. I didn't want to fucking do nothing. I'm like, I'm not doing shit.
You were having prepartum depression.
Yeah, like kind of. Well, it's just like, oh my God, anything could happen. So like, whenever something good happens, I don't believe it. So if I was that guy, I'd be like, I'm not celebrating. I'm not getting my hopes up a bit. And then the second they hand me that money, I'd be like, yay.
Well, it says like you prescribe to what I like to call is Murphy's Law Dick. What will go wrong can go wrong, will actually go wrong. What can go wrong will go wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
But I get it. I get
Mark,
it. I mean, because that's like that song that was used completely wrong about that word. The ironic song. It's like, the plane going down after he won the lottery. Like, I don't think you understand how irony works in that song. That's just called bad luck. Like, it's not ironic. It's just bad luck. Like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a fork. No, that's just called bad luck. It's not ironic. Like, you think somebody would have told her that?
Beautiful wife.
Meredith, what was her name?
Alanis Morissette.
Alanis. It's like, Alanis, you were the voice of God in Dogma. You would think you would know this. That's not the way irony works.
Nobody corrected.
What's ironic is that you're singing a song about irony, but you're not singing. It's not about irony. That's ironic.
Exactly. Yeah. Mark Ponce de Leon, as I like to call him, because Ponce de Leon just sounds cool. Thank you, buddy. He says, my son Jackson wants to know, what do y'all think is the best Friday the 13th movie? By the way, Jax loves watching y'all with me. He's 9. Jax, I'm very sorry.
Jackson. I like his name, though. Jackson Briggs wins Mortal Kombat.
It's spelled with an X too. Jackson.
Oh, that's awesome. Jax.
I'm going to Jackson.
Every time, when he gets older, when they were like, please stand up and say who you are, he just needs to stand up. Don't say his last name. He goes, Jax. And then do from the video game, Jax.
Son.
And then he doesn't have to use son. He needs to go by Jax when he gets older.
I just like the wrap up.
Jax.
Son. And then you close it down. But no, favorite Friday the 13th movie. It's always a rough go between, for me, part 4, which is one of the best movies of the series, no doubt, because the crazy ending, all the stuff that goes on. And part 6, Jason Lives. Jason Lives is the best if you're in the mood for something funny and irreverent. But if you want a serious movie, you don't want all them jokes, part 4 is the way to go. I think those are equal in nature.
He said 1, God damn it! Don't confuse the boy.
Fine.
Let the boy watch. Let the boy watch. No, I would say part 7, A New Blood, hands down. I love that movie. I know the telekinesis, you don't like it and stuff, but I love. Yeah. I don't know why. I think Jason looks the coolest in that. He's the most badass in that I've ever seen. Plus, it's Kane Hodder's premiere as Jason, and from that day on, ever since Kane Hodder portrayed Jason, every other Jason is. Well, I guess there's only been one. Well, no, one after him, which was in the remake. They've all stylized
Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh yeah, well I don't include that guy because that guy was one of the guys they used in Manhattan. He only was Jason for like 2 seconds, but anyway, I'm not in Manhattan. That's why they fucked Kane Hodder. But anyway, that's a different video. But ever since then, every guy that plays Jason tries to emulate that version of Jason because also Kane Hodder brought a lot more animation to that character, like the breathing thing, the hulking kind of quiet fury that he had, because all the other Jasons before, not that they didn't do a good job, but they never had that much like distinctiveness that Kane Hodder brought.
No, you're right in the fact, even though I don't like the telekinesis, then I don't like the ending where the dad just randomly pops up from what the
that was
how that happened.
Yeah,
but you're right. There's some cool scenes in that movie, no doubt. And Jackson, I just want to apologize for all the horrible words that we're putting into your mind. But I like that you and Dad are spending some time together.
That's a good time.
That's cool as hell, Mark and Jackson. Awesome. You're a cool dude, Jackson.
Are you Jackson? You look like a Jackson. That must make you Frank Dux. No. It's Dukes. Like, put up your Dukes. Hey, Jackson, tell your dad that you want to watch Bloodsport. Good times. You're gonna love that one. All right.
That's a great one, little dude. Solo Pilot. Thanks, buddy. He says every time there's a Wham video or live stream. Well, hello, Clarice. It's good to see you again.
Don't throw your cum at me. That's all. You know what's so weird, dude? That movie is iconic for multiple reasons, and Hannibal Lecter and all that good stuff. But there's something about, I don't know why, but when I think of that, when the Hello Clarice, I always think of her walking through the dingy ass area, and then that dude just throwing fucking cum and it's sticking at her face. And it was that shit was so thick. It was so like it was just like a huge wad of cum. Good God, it was so much cum you could see the fucking sperm swimming.
You got to have a strong arm too to get that off your fingers.
Yeah, dude, it was like sticky. People can catch farts in their hands and throw it at somebody's face immediately. He caught it like a fucking kung fu master and then threw it.
Yeah,
with deadly accuracy.
That I always think of that scene too. No joke. Colton Kalo, thanks, buddy. Just tried the Batman pizza from Little Caesars. Now, see, I tried it the other day.
You did yesterday.
You did? Yeah, so if you guys don't know, it's a bat calzone, basically. It's half a pizza and half a calzone, and it's like in the shape of a Batman. My wife, not impressed, the huge. But I'll tell you what, I thought those calzone.
Was this about the pizza or the sex?
Let's not talk about that right now. But no, the
calzone. Little guy, don't worry about that little guy.
Yeah, the pizza's just pizza, but the calzone, I thought it was fucking amazing, dude. I thought it was
I had one of the ears of the calzone.
Yeah,
good. But I don't really like calzones but I don't know why. I just think they're like It's too much bread or something, but it was still good. I mean, it was.
Mm.
I mean, who doesn't like melted fucking cheese and bacon or whatever in there?
The problem I had, Colton, is when I went in that bitch. You guys know the world that we're living in today. Like fast food employees can just be complete dickheads to you for no reason, and you just got to take that shit and move on. I've never been one to ever start shit with a fast food employee because I'm like, hey man, I get to leave and go eat my fucking burrito somewhere.
Mhm.
You know, I get why you're in a bad mood. I understand, and I'm not going to fuck with you. You never fuck with the people who make your food. First off, but
That's golden rule number 1.
yeah, but I pulled up there, dude, and Katie had pre-ordered it, and I pulled up and this hawking dude, this big guy, walks up to the window and he's like, "What can I do for you?" And I'm like, "I had an order to pick up for Katie," and just that's all I said. And he goes, "I need the last name, dude." And I was like, "Oh, excuse me, it's Holtz."
It's called asshole, major asshole. Oh, I'm sorry, that's your name. Next.
Yeah, it's like that scene in Liar Liar these days, though. When that happens to you, you just gotta take it up the tailpipe and move on.
Yeah.
Like, you don't fuck with them, you know. Don't
Well,
do
at least
it.
you didn't say you have lost a customer. I will never return to this establishment again. Why do they
You gotta
always sound
speak
like
to the
they're from
manager.
like I was telling Mike I've been watching Rome, the TV series now because I finished Spartacus. Fucking great show. You guys got to check that out if you got Hulu. So good. But anyway, Rome. But it does feel like those kind of types of Karens that go in and that fuck around in the fast food places of business that always yell and scream at the employees. They always sound like they're repeating some Shakespearean line from Rome. Like,
Yeah.
you have dared broach me with such a shameful tactic as to ask me to pay for worthless food. Yes, of course I partook in the steak that you presented me. Yes, I ate half of it, but I was not satisfied, sir. If you want me to speak to the Caesar about your treatment of me, so by Jupiter I will on his stone. it's like no, it really.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that they always get like very haughty?
Yeah, very
I mean,
indignant.
like they're really gonna be affected that you don't come back and shop at their fucking establishment. You stupid, egotistical, self-important little dick face.
Yeah, you're not talking to the corporate head of the Caesar. Oh, dude. I just
Well, even if
boogered-
you did, the
I just
corporate head of
live
the
boogered.
Caesar would literally have his cock
Sorry.
out, stroking it with all of his millions of dollars, and be like, "Yes, so tell me another one." Like,
Yeah,
it's not gonna
exactly.
matter. They don't give a shit unless that employee literally said something really, really awful to you.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Like, I mean, yeah, that guy was being an asshole, and that guy was, you know, you could be a little snooty back, but honest to God, man, like it really is a thankless job. It really is,
Yeah.
and it's a shitty job. And I understand you have to do you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, and you don't know what anybody's going through on a daily basis, man.
Yeah.
That guy could have just been through the worst night of
He
his
could have
life.
just got
and he
broke
sh-
up with or something.
Yeah, or even worse. And he could be showing up to work because he's got to pay his goddamn bills.
Right.
And then here comes the fucking asshole whistling like,
God's-
I'd like cheese pizza.
Yeah, it's like, can I get my Batman pizza? I got pizza.
Must be nice to enjoy things like Batman pizza. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
I know,
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, but it really is. It's a thankless job, and I always try to treat them with respect. But I have run into assholes too that work at fast food
Oh,
establishments,
yeah.
and really, it's not anything about. It's not just fast food establishments. I mean, you see them everywhere, Walmart or whatever, retail. And yeah, everybody has a bad day. The only thing I would say is like, I don't fuck with them. But here's the thing. Here's a rule of thumb too. Just because you're having a bad day doesn't mean that you get to take it out on anybody else. Like, I don't give a fuck who you are or where you work.
True.
I mean, we all have bad days, but Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't know, just either don't go to work, or if you have to go to work, put on a fucking happy face. He must be
sure you
using
wear
the brand
your
X. But yeah,
Which, by the way, we're gonna in the second half of the show, we're gonna do a deep dive into Batman 1989, just in case.
some good shit, man. It, you know,
gonna get in
it's
that.
funny. I watched the movie again. That was the whole reason. April went and bought the Batman pizza because she didn't have to work the next day and want to do the whole Batman theme because we were gonna watch 89 again. But it's so weird
That's
when I
fucking
watch
adorable.
it, huh?
It's fucking adorable.
It really was.
Just
I know.
Thinking of you guys sitting around eating your Batman pizza.
It was
watching
so
Batman
sweet.
together.
I literally developed diabetes for about 2 hours
I love
because it was just so sweet, so much fucking sweetness. But anyway, no. But anyway, how we were watching it, and it's so weird. I've literally seen it so many times, but it's so goddamn good to watch over and over again. Like I literally just watched it.
Yeah,
like maybe last week, but it's so good. You can, and then when that music comes on, that Danny Elfman score, you in for some treats, boys.
Save it. Save it.
I don't
want to get into it.
I gotta tame it down a little bit there.
But my God, I love it too. Mercurio80, thanks, buddy. Says, hey guys, your old videos kept me sane during my 5-day quarantine. Can I get a Loomis and Chalice shout out? Well, I haven't done Chalice in a fucking minute, dude. But yeah. Hey, sorry you were in quarantine. I hope you didn't get the thing, by the way. But if you did, I hope you're feeling better. You know, Mercurio 80 is a good man. You know, he's the kind of guy you go out, you get a couple Boilermakers, you take him to a baseball game. He probably, you know, he's a good wingman. You know, he holds the peanuts. You try to get your I mean, you know, it's getting late.
He needs another drink. He's not had one in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Mercurio 80. I would like to say Mercutio 80. I think you're a liar. Your name is not that, or unless you're from the Romeo and Juliet. You've made worms meat of me. I think you're a liar. I'm glad you're better and you're doing well from quarantine. But what I think that you are quarantined is not the virus, but finding a job. You quarantined yourself. Mercutio 80. 80 times you've probably applied, and 80 times you didn't get the job. So make it 81, you lazy shit.
Yeah.
Mercutio or Mercurio or Idioto.
You know, you mentioned Juliet there.
It's a goddamn piece. Shakespeare play, idiot.
That's a fine lady. I'll tell you what I'd like to do to Juliet. Take her out bowling. You know, they got the buckets. They got 5 beers, 15. You know the point. All right.
Yeah, she'd poison herself like she did in the story.
Yeah. Speaking of which, they got a little piece of
Jesus
tail
Christ,
there.
when you talk, it sounds like a stroke after stroke. Are you Joe Biden? Shut up.
Strike after strike. My
yes.
friend,
Okay, good job.
At the old bowling alley.
Hey, what's in your head? Is that promoting something?
Yeah. What?
Looks like a blue piece of shit.
What are you, my parole officer there?
No, I'm gonna be a boot in your ass.
Okay.
It's fun. Yeah, those are fun to do those shout outs to. And it's weird. Like Mike and I will roll off of it, and then it's funny because we'll just go into like a sketch. It's like, and then it's like, why are we doing this for? Because we're
25 minutes later, you wake up.
Well, you know what happens? It's like when we were kids, we used to talk in gibberish together.
Oh yeah.
And we were like, it was like, well, let's go to like the video store and just do that while we're looking for movies when people walk by. So we would go to the video store and we go like, well, Mike and I would be like, and then Mike would be like, yeah, and you go ahead. No, like act like you're picking a movie.
Yeah, it's you did.
Council.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, it sounds like we're doing fucking Borat or some shit, but it was, I always thought it was funny because you would get those weird people that would walk with like, I don't know what they're talking about, but they're very animated about this shit.
Well, that's where the fucking bean guys came from, because we just took that same exact gibberish, but we decided to say fucking beans every time. So
dude,
like, fucking bean, fucking
we were actually a victim of early. I do remember this. I just now thought of it, but it's been a while. But we were almost victims of early forms of the amoeba, early stages of cancel culture. We didn't, because they're, cancel culture people are fucking idiots and nobody cares.
Apocalypto review.
Apocalypto. Yeah. We did Apocalypto. Okay, so here was the premise of the joke, and I thought it was pretty fucking funny. The premise of the joke was obviously in Apocalypto, directed by Mel Gibson. It's entirely in subtitles, just like the Passion of the Christ is. They were speaking in the native tongue that they spoke in during that time. So Mike and I decided to review the movie in our gibberish language, and Mike was going to put subtitles underneath each time we were talking. But then somebody commented that we were like, I don't know if they said we were racist or insensitive or discriminatory because we were doing that. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's a made-up language, you stupid bitch. It's not a real language. It ain't real. And if we were doing it in Latin, if Mike and I spoke fluent Latin, that's a dead language. No one speaks it anymore, except if you're like reading a fucking Greek Bible. What the fuck do you mean? Like, I swear to God, but that was early. That was like 2000. That was probably a year after we started the channel. That was like 2013.
It was the first taste we got of actually pissing someone off, and there was only 8 people watching, so you can imagine what that was like.
We narrowed it down. It's like we found out who the fuck you were. But I think Mike showed it, or we talked about it. I was like, who gives a shit? And then we were like, we're sorry if we offended you.
Yeah, my bad, dude. Mike White Jr., you mushroom eating motherfucker. He said, thanks, dude. That's sweet. You didn't have to do that. You know that. He says, hello, is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in your smile. and I want to tell you so much. I love
Hello,
you.
Mike White Jr. By the way, in your honor, Mike, I watched Rambo First Blood a few days ago as well.
Get a haircut.
I really need to get one. That's for sure.
I
Jesus
need one,
Christ,
too.
will you look at this? The guy's, come on, he's been through stuff.
He says,
love
"P.S. If it dies, it dies."
I love that movie, dude. Rambo First Blood still, I think it's the best Rambo of all of them. It really is,
Great
straight
one.
up.
I can't wait to experience it again in 4K.
Whatever. I'm done. I'm done talking about fucking 4K, 8K. Suck my dick, K.
It's funny because we're gonna talk about Batman.
No,
later.
because the
I
weird.
watched
no,
it in
I'm gonna
4K
tell you
and I
one
was
thing
like,
about- okay, I'm still,
"Wow,
what the fuck is 4K?" Okay, so there's 4K now, then there's 8K.
Now I don't think 8K even like.
No, it's real.
I know, but like I don't think it really matters unless like you have like a holy
No,
shit.
don't you be saying that, because these fucking nerds that
I
read
know.
Wired magazine
But
constantly and jack
I
off
know.
to it are
I
gonna
know.
come for you like fucking
But-
blood in the water.
I do gotta tell you though, dude, like I'm really hoping that to get a 4K player soon, because just like they say on streaming, it's like not even good. Like you know what I mean? Like 4K on
Did you get
streaming
your
is
4K
like
player?
whatever. No, I don't have a 4K player,
Oh.
but just watching 4K on streaming, it's partly that I've never had a TV this big before,
Yeah.
but it's also partly because even the streaming's in 4K. Now, what people say is that when you actually have a 4K player and you watch the movie on the 4K player, it's actually like 5 to 6 times better. And if that's it, if that's a fact, holy fuck, dude. Because
Well,
just
that's what
watching 4K and streaming is blowing my mind. Like Batman, I watched it. It was like watching it for the first time again. I mean, it really was. You noticed like so much shit you didn't
Well,
notice.
you know what? It takes little to please. I still see the world in VHS format. So when I
know.
see fucking 720p, I'm like, holy shit, this is the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I can't get better than this. And then
I
they're
get
like,
it.
You poor though. You got that 720p. You need that 4K. Okay, well, you gonna give me the money? Nah, you got to get that on your own.
I think it was Jimmy Champagne who asked me. He was like, "Do you guys film in 4K?" And I was like, "Man, I don't even watch in 4K."
Dude, if Jimmy Champagne had asked me that, I'd be like fucking Owen Wilson in the Wedding Crashers. Like, I don't even know what a fucking quill is.
Lost a
Like,
lot of good men out
4K?
there.
It's like, I don't even know what the fuck 4K is.
Lost a lot of good-
$4,000? I didn't get $4,000 for that video, sir. You're wrong.
What lost a lot of good men out there. What, playing for the Yankees? Yeah, the unruly trades and free agents. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, dude, I can't wait to. I mean, I know we're gonna get there, but I really do want to talk. It's so fucking weird about the casting direction that Batman could have gone.
Oh, dude, it's a dark night.
It's so
Sorry,
weird.
God.
Well, some of it's all right, and then some of it was like, "Oh, what
Yeah,
you
dude.
do there, sir?"
There's
But
some
it
crazy
was
titties.
really interesting stuff. It was really
Anthony
interesting.
Fitzgerald, thanks, buddy. Says, "What's up, guys? Return of Michael Myers or Jason Lives? What's your pick? Halloween 4 or Jason Lives? I'm gonna go with the old Halloween 4 down the poop chute, my friend. I do love Jason Lives though.
Forever, that's where my heart burns too. Halloween 4. It's always going to be Halloween 4, dude. Halloween 4 is one of those unique movies that do so well. It really does. I know it's sacrilege. I mean, I can't believe we're doing this, but it's sacrilege for. But I say it rivals Halloween 1 in sheer enjoyment.
I can't go there with you,
But I come with me to the temple. You can wait outside so no one sees you go in, but you will come to me with the temple.
If he had the right mask and the right look,
The
maybe,
right
yeah.
mask.
But
First off, if he had the right mask, dude, it might be better than the first one.
True.
I know.
I don't know. Yeah, someone should deep fake that shit. By the way, like they really should.
You have crossed a river that I cannot get canoe with.
Tyler Rumpfeld, thanks, buddy. He says, "Love you guys. Just waiting for the mic." Oh, before I get into this, I was going to mention, you know what you and I need to do? Maybe next time we even shoot together. All the kids are talking about this
TikTok stuff.
I think everybody else has done it, where they take Freddy, Jason, and Michael, and they rank all the movies in one big fucking video.
Yeah,
that's what that reminded me of. I think that would be really.
Did we do that?
Fun.
I swear we did that. As
we
an
never
offshoot
did that
on a live stream.
We probably just did it when we were drunk one night at a karaoke bar, but we
that.
never filmed it. That'll be a fun video.
We should have filmed that. It's actually not at a karaoke. We're outside of a speedway begging for change.
Yeah, but having good conversation.
I bought Natural Light with change literally from my car.
I saw some dude commented on Twitter. He was like, you know what's weird about guys? He was like, guys can just sit around and just do nothing but name old sports players' names and just have the best time. And I was like, that's true. But then some guy fucking commented underneath it, and he was like, the problem is here is the hyperdem of males not allowed to express their feelings. And that's a problem. And like this whole big diatribe, and his name was like Dylan Boggs. And he went through this whole thing about,
of course, his
like,
name's Dylan Boggs.
Yeah, he took it to this other place about male, like, toxic blah blah.
Oh,
and
God.
like he wrote like a whole paragraph, and the dude responded to it, but he just said, any relation to Wade Boggs, the Yankees player?
Dude, that guy should have responded with, like, have you had yourself a cry yet? It may help your mood. Because those guys are like tampon wet diapers. I mean, toxic masculinity, suck my white ass ball.
He didn't even say that. That's just that's the kind of shit he was saying. But it reminds me of that scene in Dumb and Dumber when the guy's like, "Get off the phone." He gets punched in the face. I want to be like, window. Get off the internet, please. Just go and see the world.
Well, it's the same thing. That's, you know, I've been like, literally what's been on the feed here is fucking the Joe Rogan thing, the Whoopi thing, the I think I don't remember the other stand-up comedian that just now got in trouble for a Holocaust joke that he told in his Netflix special. He's a famous comedian. He's a British guy. I've seen his shit before, but here's the thing. Humor or Whoopi is different, but I'm talking about those, but specifically I'm talking about well, I'll talk about this, the actual stand-up comedian. I can't remember his name for the life of me. Humor or stand-up comedy for these guys, that's their fucking job. It's supposed to be edgy. It's supposed to be it's supposed to be barely like touching the line. It's not a statement of fact. It's a joke. Yeah. If you learn how to tell the difference, you're going to go well, and you're going to do well in life. And you might get a woman. Who the fuck knows? We'll see. Because you won't be a virgin anymore. Because the ones that virtue signal and say, I'm gonna cancel it. You are the same fucking people. If George Carlin were still alive, Richard Pryor was still alive, they would fucking torture your ass up and down the highway about how sensitive and tampon-y you are. That's not a real word, but it should be. But I can't. But that's literally. I'm just saying, it's literally been all over the fucking internets.
Oh yeah, it's every new day, different.
Well, these are the these are the big ones. And the Joe Rogan thing. Yeah. Look, here's the thing about Joe Rogan. If you agree with him or you don't agree with him, the thing is, he has a right, and he can. It's his own free speech, his own right to opinion. He can have whoever the fuck he wants onto his program. Spotify paid $100 million for his contract. Neil Young says, choose between my music or get rid of Joe Rogan. Guess what they did? Goodbye, Neil. Like, we paid $100 million this motherfucker. Are you
Spotify is a different beast because they are fucking people hard. Now, I have Spotify, so I get it. They're fucking artists hard, though. Like, that's a whole different ballgame.
But Neil Young put an ultimatum to him and said, choose my Neil Young music. My Neil Young music. That's like the Cracker Barrel music that plays over the loudspeakers or Joe Rogan. And they said, let me think about that one. 2 seconds later, bye, Neil.
I think we all just need to adopt, and I promise, guys, we won't keep talking about this. But I do think, though, that we should just all adopt the same policy of just, if you don't like it,
just don't watch it.
Boop. Yeah, problem solved. That's it. That's all you got to do.
The way it used to be in the early 2000s, 90s. Well, not even the early. Well, 90s for sure. If you didn't like something somebody said, or their opinion didn't match with what yours said, or whatever, just because they said it, that's not your opinion. They're not racist. They're not bigoted. They're not discriminatory. They're not trans haters or whatever the fucking isms that you're going to call them. They just don't have the same worldview as you. So,
well, we don't
just
know
don't fucking watch it. Well, the point being, if they're overtly racist, if they represent a racist, like, you know, KKK or some shit, or neo-Nazis or whatever the fuck, obviously they're not good people, and you shouldn't agree with them at all, and they should be pulled by their nutsack until they can't breathe. But the point being, if I don't agree with you about something specifically, politics or whatever, guess what? I'm not a racist. I'm not a bigot. If I vote this way and I don't vote that way, I'm not a racist. I'm not a bigot. You're a fucking idiot. You have too much time on your hands. Because here's the thing. Everybody in political power, they're going to fuck you with the ass no matter what. Guess what the difference is? They just have a different color fucking toga, blue or red. They're going to put it in your ass the same. So stop being a fucking idiot.
That's true. That's fucking true.
That should be on a t-shirt. Stop being an idiot. Politics suck. That's what you should put on.
Don't be an idiot, Bob. Yeah, I agree with that. Tyler Rumfeld, thanks, buddy. He says, love you guys. Just waiting for Michael and Loomis skit of them going into the woods chasing down the Blair Witch. It would be epic. Do it. We've done a couple Blair Witch skits, but we did the redneck Blair Witch.
Because do a because Loomis probably gets scared because he probably didn't like witchcraft because like it's too close. Like Michael, you go see what that was. I'll rate white here. I'll rate white here. Rate white here. Wait right here. I'm having a stroke. I'm verbally dyslexic.
Michael's too stupid to be scared. He'd be like Eli Manning in the Super Bowl. He doesn't realize the pressure he's under. He'd just be sitting there like,
yeah, that's true. He does have an Eli Manning face.
Ben Wolf, thanks, buddy. He says, number 1, cheers, sexy monkeys. Number 2, have you seen Eli Roth's History of Horror documentary from AMC? Great documentary. I've seen little bits about it, and I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people talk about it. I think it's something everybody's looking forward to every
I would love to
October.
I think April watched a couple. I never get around to doing. I always forget about it, but it does seem awesome.
Yeah, it seems like it's a cool thing. I'm glad they do it.
I think Eli Roth is an underappreciated horror director too.
Depends. I've seen some real pieces.
No, he's done bad shit. I'm not saying like, I mean, I'm not saying, because I need my shit to be all gritty and graphic and stuff like my sex life is not. But it's a very basic. My sex life is a very basic human biology textbook. It's
Take
like,
it in, guys.
This is missionary position.
He's blaming himself, not others. All right?
Yeah. But Eli Roth, I'm not talking about, because I know everybody's like, hostile and shit like that. But I feel like Eli Roth
stuff, like hit me in the face with a book.
Yeah,
Party
make it feel good and like lick the pages while you do it.
Yeah, put a thumb in my butt and slap me and call me my dad.
Yeah, and then after you do that, I want you to put your thumb in your butt again, like or something. Yeah, but Eli Roth is. I feel like he could do honestly, Eli Roth, what he could. I think he could do a really good like chainsaw movie, Texas. I know that we said Rob Zombie, but I think Eli Roth could do a really good Texas.
I would watch it, Eli Roth. I would watch that shit. That's a good one. Courtney Reed, thanks, buddy. He says Scream 6 Ghostface. You said it. Courtney Reed, I think that's the best. By the way, I know you haven't seen Scream 5 or whatever, but what do you think about this? This was Courtney. By the way, Courtney won that competition, by the way, for the best Scream subtitle.
Matthew Lillard's the greatest killer of all time.
There you go.
That's what I'm going to say.
Courtney said just come back. Just don't subtitle. Just call it Ghostface. Like if the next Scream was called Ghostface, I like that. That's hot.
Or you could call it Scream 6.
Yeah, it's
use Roman numerals and the V and then 1.
But the last one wasn't 5, so it was like what?
You know what? Hopefully they don't ever do
to blow.
Like, Scream 6 Origins of the Ghostface. I'm like,
oh Jesus, yeah.
What's happened to you, sir?
No, I don't want it. They call me Stamps, motherfucker. Thanks, buddy. He says I got 158 movies in my current collection, and my friends challenged me to watch all of them consecutively nonstop. Do you think I should take that challenge? Fuck no, Anthony. That's like 158 movies. If they're an hour and a half long a piece, that's like 300 hours.
No, dude, I'll tell you what, if you don't have any subscription services and you're rocking a VCR and they're all VHS, you have to do that. That'd be fun.
Because that's what
that's what it used to be back in the day. You didn't have the subscription services. You'd have to go out and rent fucking movies and shit. So I don't know. Take a challenge to yourself. Do it. Do one a day.
You gonna die. You better order some fucking
I think if he does, I think it'd be a pretty cool adventure if he just does one a day.
Well, yeah, there you go. Do that.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you're not gonna stay up like where your eyes are all fucking open, like in a Clockwork Orange, watching that shit.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, the last movie you watch is Terminator 2, and you fucking go out and on a rampage.
Just one a day. I like the idea of like watching one movie you've never seen every day, and that's something. That's one of my. I never like said that to myself, but I unspokenly, I've made that one of my goals for this year is I really want to watch more movies than I watched last year and the more movies I haven't seen. So like I've been trying to, and I've been keeping track of it with Letterboxd, which is really fun to do. Yeah. I'm trying to watch more movies, even like movies you've already seen, like fuck it. Like sometimes I find myself forgetting quotes from my favorite movies. I watched Step Brothers. I was having a bad night a couple nights ago. Watch Step Brothers.
I mean, you're not going to not get Randy Jackson's autograph on it.
No, you forget more than you think about those movies. Like you watch, you're like, oh fuck, I forgot about how funny that shit was.
I like he's like, why do you have Randy Jackson's autograph on a katana sword? So the only thing I had at the airport. You're not going to not get Randy Jackson's autograph.
I totally agree.
What's the pup's name? The pup is unnamed because you can't put a name on that face. Galco?
This house is a prison. Yeah, and it sucks camel dicks. On planet, this sucks camel dicks or whatever the fuck it was. That was so good.
Oh yeah, in a house of bullshit.
On the planet, this sucks camel dicks. Yeah.
I put my nuts all over your drum set.
You don't say that. You'll say that.
Yeah, that's a great movie, dude. It really is.
It is.
Well, that's the thing is, I wish I could watch. You know, I think mine is I always like I'll watch a show or I'll watch a movie and then I'll type in old Google search engine movies like something I really enjoyed, and then
Oh,
it'll
that's
pop
smart.
up
Yeah,
suggestions, and then
that's
I'm like,
fun.
that one seems interesting. But when I click it, it's got like a 4.5 on IMDb. I'm like,
Yeah,
if I gave a shit what those assholes thought, then I would say no way. But I take the adventure. That's
that's
how
a
I
fun.
found, and I know it sucks for the critics anyway. But Gods of Egypt, I enjoyed it for what it was.
I
I
think I
understand
watched
it's not
that.
good. I think well, Ender's Game was another one. I really enjoyed Ender's Games, but a lot of people, I don't know. I don't really ever see anybody talking about it, but it's still a good movie. I don't know.
Rabbit holes are fun just to go down because it's just like it's like fun penis time with yourself. You know, I want to watch these movies that I
Well,
know
that's
nobody gives a flying fuck about, but I do, and
yeah,
I'm gonna watch them all, and I don't care about anybody else. I'm gonna have my own penis showing game, and it's
that's right.
dude, it's self therapy. It's a nice time.
You're gonna have your own penis showing game when you're in front of the mirror. You're stroking your cock and flexing, just to see how
Yeah.
big you are and your
Ooh,
cock.
it's so veiny.
You shave around the pubic area, and you pretend that you're a sex god. You're not, but in that moment you are. But
Yeah,
here's the thing,
the
also,
bat wing, bitch.
that's how I found. Again, I mentioned this the show Rome, a long time ago. I had already seen Spartacus. I finished it like
I'm listening.
yeah, 2015, I think, is when I first found Spartacus. So it had already been over. I think the last season ended in 2013, maybe. I don't remember, but the show had already been over. But I like Greek mythology. It's not based on mythology, but I also like Roman history, like ancient Rome. I like all that stuff, like the Julius Caesar, the Spartacus thing. So I watched it and I fucking loved it. So then I typed in, you know, shows similar to Spartacus, and the first one that popped up immediately was Rome. And I attempted to watch it the first time, and I was bored out of my mind. I shut it off after the second episode because I lost what was going on. I didn't care. And then I just started watching it again, and I'm already on episode 9. It's so fucking good. The first 2 episodes are really slow and pretty boring, but then it gets into like the political intrigue, and there's sex, and there's like who do you trust, and Mark Antony in it. No, not Mark Anthony. I need to know, but Mark Antony. Julius Caesar's in it, obviously. Pompey is there's so many historical figures. It's an amazing show. But and then I think someone said it right. They were like, it paved the way for Game of Thrones. And Ray Stevenson is in it as well, and I love him, dude. Like every time he's in the scene, he plays a character called Titus Pullo. He's fucking awesome. He's a womanizer. He chases gold. He's a soldier. He's having a good life. Fuck it. He tries not to get anything down on. Dude,
Sounds
I
like
swear,
God
I
like
was
to
telling
have a
Mike. I was telling
brisky
Mike.
with.
Well, and plus he can actually do his accent where he doesn't have to, pretend to be gruff and grim like he tried to do in Warzone. Punisher, even though that he did look the part, but he just couldn't hide his accent. I think what happened for me, and I was telling Mike this, Mike might find it boring. If you watch Spartacus first, I think it's going to spoil you because it's not the same. I mean, Spartacus is nonstop, no holds barred, WCW, Monday Nitro, fucking fire, ready to get the Nitro girls out there, and you're gonna get a hard cock, and then watch Hulk Hogan betray everybody.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, but and then you go to Rome, and it's like watching after that experience of watching Monday Nitro and all the fucking sweat and awesomeness. Then going to Rome, it's like watching Downtown Abbey.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh shit. But eventually you get into their stories.
Yeah, sometimes with shows you just gotta let them percolate a little bit inside of you.
Dude, there's one that bitch that pisses me off. I'll go ahead and tell you it doesn't matter because I mean you probably won't ever watch it. I know you because you probably won't because it's basically it's the ancient Rome shit. You're not gonna watch it. But there's one. No, I can't say it because there's some one person out there might be like, you know what? I'll take the suggestion and watch it.
Yeah, don't spoil it like I did Yellowstone.
Oh yeah, that's true.
For so many people. Yeah.
Yeah. Did they get mad at you? Did they want to burn your crack hair?
They were cool about it. But talking about shows that we've been watching though, real quick, you guys got to watch Reacher. And like nobody's watching this because it's another Amazon Prime show, and it just seems like shit like that just comes and goes like a fart in the night. But I'm telling you guys, Reacher, Alan Ritchson is the guy who plays him. Now, Reacher, you'll know Reacher from
Is he hot?
Cruise. Oh yeah, he's a good looking fucking guy.
Can't wait to watch that.
But you'll know Reacher from the Tom Cruise movies. They made 2 movies about him. It's another Tom Clancy novel. But I think the reason people aren't going to watch this is because they're going to get him confused with Jack Ryan, which is a more political espionage dude. and B, because they're going to get confused with the Tom Cruise thing. But we watched it, dude, and 8 episodes, watched it 2 days. It's that fucking good. It's not.
I didn't know it was a TV. I thought it was a movie.
No, it's a TV series.
Oh.
And the thing is that it's not like Jack Ryan. It's based on books by like Tom Clancy and shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's based on that. But this guy is like he's like a fucking it's violent. Like he fucks people up. And what the movies with Tom Cruise got wrong is that it's weird because it's like Tom Cruise. Alan Ritchson, the guy they got to play this character, is like a fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's like watching young Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now he's not that charismatic.
Does he drink beer for breakfast? And that says milk is for babies.
They kind of have something like that going on with him, actually. But like he's not nearly as charismatic as Schwarzenegger, but nobody fucking is. But he's this gigantic fucking huge dude that is just unstoppable. Yeah. And he walks into this town and he gets framed for murder, and then they figure it out.
So you said it was like an old school like Van Damme Arnold movie
when it comes to the fight scenes. So like the story that goes around it is a little bit, I don't want to say predictable, but it's a little your typical like kind of.
Well, that's how all 90s action movies were. Like
it's sort of Law and Order-ish and shit like that, like with how things play out. But they've got a couple really good side characters. But the main thing is every single episode has like 1 to 3 fight scenes in it, and they're all fucking amazing. And they make you feel like you're watching a 90s action movie, like Stallone, Seagal, all that shit like that. So the size of him and the fact that he is charismatic, he's a likable guy, and you enjoy him. Plus the fact that when the fight scenes happen, they're fucking brutal as shit. And you've got this large, huge dude just fucking people up. I'm telling you, if you're a fan of 90s, absolutely afterwards.
Oh, that's the best part right there.
If you're a fan of 90s action movies and shit and you miss that, watch Reacher. It's not political espionage. It's just straight fucking, it's like Walking Tall kind of. It's like one of those kind of stories. Fucking awesome, dude.
I got a little piece of information that's going to be really well received. Spider-Man No Way Home is coming to streaming, but not in the places you thought. Disney Plus, Netflix, get out of here. It has a 45-day only allowed on Stars.
How the fuck does that happen? How the fuck does Disney Plus not get their own shit?
Stars. I don't know. But I'm only saying that because we're talking about everything and anything under the sun. So fuck it. Well, this is how ADD works, man. Mike was talking about Jack Reacher, then we'll go somewhere else. We're having a good fucking time. You weren't done?
No, I'm done. No, I said we're just 2 dudes talking, making out.
Yeah, I thought you were saying like I wasn't done.
No, I was agreeing. I was agreeing with you. With you.
I was trying. I don't want people to be like, "What the fuck? Can you keep on one subject?"
No, I'm done. I'm done. Watch Reacher. That's all I was trying to say.
I'm sorry, I was choking on some cock from earlier.
I love it when you.
But anyway, dude. So Starz got the exclusive rights to.
That's shocking.
Well, they bought. They paid out the most money because most people forget that Sony is the one that owns Spider-Man. It's not Marvel.
Right. Well, that's true. That's probably the Sony influence. But by the way, if you guys are going to get Starz just to watch No Way Home, you gotta fucking watch Heels. That's the perfect opportunity to watch the first season of Heels.
Talk about that, dude. Heels is so fucking good, and thank God it was renewed for a second season.
Yeah, I know. If you're a fucking fan of Arrow, if you're a fan of wrestling, if you're a fan of just drama, if you're a fan of Friday Night Lights, and you don't watch the first season of fucking Heels, you're fucking yourself. That's what you're doing.
It's so good. Yourself. It really is
so good.
Yeah, dude, that's one of the best shows out there, and it's I know that it's gotten really high praise, but I feel like it's unheralded. Like I don't see a lot of people talking about some of the, everybody talks about Yellowstone. Obviously, it's a great show, but I feel like that one slipped under the radar, and it never got the press that it deserved. I think that's so good, dude. To me, I think that's one of the best shows I've ever watched. Like hands down, one of the best shows I've ever literally watched.
No joke, it really is.
Like it's up there with Cobra Kai and shit like that. Like it's up there.
Yeah. Heels on Starz, fucking watch it, guys. I feel like we're providing a service. Like if you guys have not seen some of the shit we're talking about,
we need to, why we're doing this, because we're trying to suck these sponsors dick. We want the sponsors, guys.
No one's paying us to say this, but honestly, out of all the shows we've talked about tonight, Jay and I would both agree, if you're gonna watch one of them, it's fucking Heels.
100%.
It's better than everything.
I'm just saying. I just want to do that disclaimer because I know that someone's gonna say, "How much do they pay you to fucking say it was good things about it?" Because there could be some asshole that doesn't like Heels for whatever reason, and then they'll type in, "How much did they pay?" Because apparently we liked Halloween 2018 and we liked Halloween Kills, even though it had problems, and we addressed those problems, but we were obviously bought and paid for by Blumhouse. I wish we were seeing those fat fucking checks that we hide from the IRS. That'd be
we
nice.
don't even get the merch boxes they send people. All right, let's roll through some of these super chats, and then in the second
I didn't know.
half of the show,
I thought people were done super chatting us because
Oh,
like
no.
these guys don't deserve
No.
anything
no, the
except my
chat
scorn.
the chat keeps going, and you and I are just bullshitting, just talking to each other. So we'll try to catch up on that before we take our first break for sure. Ryan Gillen, my dude, said, fun fact about New Blood, they wanted Freddy versus Jason at that point, but couldn't make it happen, so they brought Jason versus Carrie. They thought Jason versus Carrie would be a good concept. I think I heard that before, and they were right. I'm glad that entry exists.
That's he's dropping some knowledge bombs, and I like it. I'm gonna bask in your radiation, sir.
I'm gonna fucking put it in you, then I'm gonna take it to you. I'm gonna take it to the street, son. I'm gonna put it inside of your cheeks.
You sound like a prison guy that's really desperate to put it in the new recruit's butt, and you're just like whispering it. It's like, if you just let me put it in your butthole, I'll protect you in the shower.
Hey, dude, let's do this real quick. I just want to do this.
I gotta go pee because my dick's gonna. I'm gonna wait till 1 hour because my dick's gonna fall off. I gotta go pee.
Well, I gotta pee too after you, but before you do that, let me try to let's do the gibberish thing again. I just let me sell you this glass. The gibberish thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna sell you this glass. All right. You're a patron. You just walked into my shop, and I'm a glass salesman. Okay.
I know what you're trying to do. Yeah, but okay, I'll do it. All right, go ahead.
Entonces, os fondar, cocajada.
São os três. Ao chau. Casal. Quem está o Leo Show? Casal. Sorry, é show, né? Chora. So it can say.
Ashuto, Pokotaya, Soka. Yeah, Shokotai,
Throw show. Lo condionce. Kushaka. Kawashaka Leosa.
No Shatoko.
For the show.
I need to be. Okay. Oh yeah. You think?
I've never been ashamed of myself on this show until just now. It just happened. Because that was like something. I swear to God, we would do that shit in the privacy where there was no cameras because we knew that would never come back to haunt us. That someone
for fucking hours, dude. For hours.
Yeah, really.
I looked over and I was doing it, and Katie's like, I was like,
dude. April walked over. She's like, "Oh." I was like, yeah.
Oh God, I love it. Booster seat. I love your name. And booster seats are great. They're an upgrade. You got to put them in normally you got the whole car seat. You got to do all the buckles. Booster seat's a nice upgrade in life. Did you know Brad Renfro from Bully 2001 was supposed to be the lead role of Will in Freddy versus Jason, but he showed up sloshed on set and got replaced fast.
I feel like he should have been kept in the film sloshed, and they should have just wrote that into his character.
Drunk couldn't have been worse than the performances we got.
It's Brad fucking Renfro, okay? He was in the Clive. Hey, look, Mikey, I'm pissing ice cubes.
You love Bully, by the way. I've never seen that movie. That's one I've never seen.
The Client?
I've seen The Client. I've never seen Bully.
Oh, dude, that's fucking, that movie is like, it makes me feel all like greasy and shit. I hung out with skanks and we went to the beach and I used tanning lotion and I feel greasy and used. Because they wanted to like skin a cat, and I didn't skin the cat, but I watched them do it, and then I got drunk.
Watch that.
It is a good movie though, and but it'll make you. I think that's why Cody. That movie sucked. It was not good, but I think that's why Cody hates who played John Connor in Terminator 3. Nick Stahl.
Yeah. The weird.
You look like when you were doing that, dude. You look like RoboCop in RoboCop 2 when he's like, "Christ, he's been stripped." When he's like,
I knew his face, but I didn't know his name.
Yeah,
so I was like,
Nick Stahl, dude. Nick Stahl is fucking disgusting in that movie. Like he's so nasty. He's the bully.
I definitely don't want to watch it then. Justin Martin, thanks, buddy. He says, yes, the kings and their thrones. Love to see it. Has Dr. Loomis seen Malignant? What a chaotic tornado of a horror film. Love you guys. What's Dr. Loomis' Malignant?
Yeah, I watched that movie. I couldn't believe it. That little bitch ate a twin, and then it came out of a skull. That wasn't just a splitting headache. That was your twin saying, "Fuck it. It should have been me.
I'm coming out."
Yes.
I want the world to
and
know.
not in a gay way. It was literally coming out, like out of a skull.
Mercurio 80 says, "LOL, calzone means underwear in Spanish." That makes sense
So
because
we're
sometimes
eating-
they taste like
we're eating
underwear. Now, I'm not a calzone guy. I just think that the Little Caesars one tasted like one of those old school like
Yeah.
pizza rolls, like
No, it
not
was
pizza
all right.
rolls, but like at the gas stations that they got.
I don't think I think I would order like a calzone or calzone or whatever if I were in an area that actually could make them. You know what I mean? Like an Italian place, an Italiano place.
Italiano, bonjour.
Yes.
Bonjour. Mark Ponce de Leon says, "Have y'all ever seen Cherry Falls? I think it's an underrated slasher movie." Dude, that's funny because I was doing I was writing a thing about 90s horror movies, and that one kept coming up, and it's on a list. It's on a list like for me to watch, and I just never do
Cherry
it. But
Falls?
I'm gonna do it too. Cherry Falls. It's apparently an
Do
awesome 90s
you remember
slasher.
when Kevin beat him down Cherry Hill in Little Giants, guys? I'm gonna go ahead and give you that one because I'm not. That's just like that was such an obscure reference to a movie. But in Little Giants, he was like, "You beat Kevin down Cherry Hill." It's like I did. He ate my dust one time.
It reminds me of The Devil's Backbone. You're gonna go down the Devil's Backbone. I think that movie was called Airborne or something. The rolling blading movie. I don't remember.
I don't know why Little Giants, when he was like, "Hey, look, your jerseys came in." Rick Moranis is trying to hype his team. He's like, "Your jerseys came in." And he was like, "Who cares?" And then he was like, "Hey, it's got your names on them." That little boy's like, "Death Shrouds." He's like, "So great." He's like, "Great. So the guy at the morgue can identify the bodies."
Daniel Flores, thanks, buddy. He says, "Wife loves being a Patreon." Hey, we love you and your wife being a Patreons. She would like to know if you guys also have an OnlyFans page. Well, that's something you should talk to your wife about.
Yet. It's just usually been for Mike and I that we share videos with each other, but
we'll send them to you if you want.
Yeah, if you guys want that dark, depraved thing, I mean, why not?
Yeah, I'll send you a Google Drive. I'll just send you the USB of Jay and I just butt fucking to your house.
Well, usually you do the butt fucking when we're together, and then sometimes we forget to turn the camera on. But normally it's just video messages back and forth where we say and do naughty things.
What are you gonna do? AKC, thank you. Says, "Hey guys, hope you're having a nice night." We are, because we're with you. Since you're reviewing Batman tonight, imagine a multiverse film with all three Jokers. Tony AKC, I appreciate it, but I don't want it. I don't want it.
Well, they just finished up the comic book. I think there is a comic book. I can't remember. I had talked about it before. The comic book where they had all of the Jokers meeting up. It was in a more recent Batman story. Can't remember what the fuck it was called, but there's always been different versions of the Joker existing that's been plaguing Batman. There's never been one true Joker. It was weird, but yeah, I also think that's just too much awesomeness in one movie, and also I think it would take completely away from Batman. Like, I mean, then it would just be the Joker show. I mean, you might as well make it Joker fucking 3, because I mean they're already making a Joker 2, so
yeah, that role can be so poignant. I feel like having to have 3 of them in there would just be too much. It's like, you're doing too much, Sally. Just put it away for a little while. You were doing good at the beginning.
But I want to touch the button. No, don't touch that button. Which one? This?
Which one? This? Jay Dia, that is a very fucking sweet. Throwing $50 on a super chat's a big fucking deal.
Hey,
really
thank you so much.
You're always doing kind shit.
You got some big britches, and I like it. That's the kind of person right there that walks into the casino, slaps down the chips, and says, "Guess what? That's for the people here, not for me. I already won. I got a big dick and big tits or whatever the fuck you got." And they walk away. I'm
walking in here with this bag, and I'm going, pew, pew. Colt McCoy's here with his bag of money.
I got 2 guns, 1 for each of you.
That's really sweet, JD. Appreciate that. Always do. Thank you. Says Spotify is also screwing their podcasters too that try to use their platform. Anyway, love you, sexy boys. A 31 and 31 ranking of Freddie, Jason, and Michael from YouTube would be dope as hell. Also, loved your video on Stu in the next Scream. Thank you for that. And you know what, Jay? We talked about
a lot of work in that Stu video. I appreciate your words of confidence.
Jay wrote the whole thing. He just emailed it to me and said,
"That's what I do.
Bitch.
I sit in the back. I sit in the back corner. I sit in the corner and just look at the paintings." Like Mr. Bean.
No, I appreciate that, man. I really do. But honestly, we talked about doing it. We need to do it because you said it. I say we just go ahead and pull the donkey bell down. I don't know what a donkey bell is. I'm just thinking of like someone ringing a bell.
I don't know. Your donkey's official. Ready.
We're gonna do a 31 for 31 because you're fucking.
What's
cool
that?
To us. That's where you take like Freddie, Jason, and Michael, and you rank them all in one big fat video.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that. I can do that right now.
Time.
You ready to do it? Let's take our shirts off. No, here's the thing. No, I know what you mean about Spotify. Look, I'm not gonna go back. I really gotta pee, so I don't want to harp on it too long. But the thing about the Spotify thing, here's the thing: they paid and bought for they bought they knew what Joe Rogan was about. I don't agree with Joe Rogan necessarily, but at the same time, I think he has a right to say what the fuck he wants to say. He has the free speech to do it. You don't have to listen to it. You don't have to watch it. So if they're canceling people over their opinion, then they're fucking idiots. By the way, you can't cancel Joe Rogan. He's already so big, he could buy his own fucking platform and put it on a goddamn himself.
Yeah,
so,
and the problem with Spotify too is that so I love Eve 6 and I follow that guy on Twitter. He's been railing against Spotify for a while. And the thing about Spotify that's fucked up, and again, I use it all the goddamn time, but the thing that's fucked up, by the way, the app works like shit sometimes. But he was saying, we signed our record contract when we were 17 years old. He was like, Spotify pays us 0.0003 cents per stream. And he was like, and that's fine. But the problem is that Sony, who owns our record contract, is a part owner of Spotify. So every dime they make from Spotify gets sent to Sony, and the artist doesn't make dick. So Spotify is sincerely fucking over artists.
So it's like working for Bill Gates.
It's
like you don't get dick. Yeah, you get shit.
Yeah.
You don't get. Well,
but yes, they're a part owner of Spotify, so they're getting the money.
Thing is, look, dude. I mean, I just the whole thing is fucking stupid. Look. Again, we already described the best antidote to this, and I don't understand why people forgot this. Just don't fucking listen to it or watch it if you don't agree with it. I don't understand canceling somebody because they're not sharing the same opinion with you or the viewpoint. You're a fucking fascist. You want to accuse another group of being fascist. That is fascism. When you silence opposing opinions because they don't agree with your particular viewpoint of the world, that is literally the definition of fascism. So get off your fucking high horse and stop being a hypocrite.
I agree.
By the way, they're going after Joe Rogan. He apologized for it. First off, he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have, but he did. And it was wrong. And like I said, he shouldn't have said it. But you can't apologize because then it shows weakness. And these motherfuckers are a pack of wolves.
No, I agree.
The
podcasters and comedians should be able to say whatever they fucking want.
I think so, especially if that's your fucking job. If that's your job to be extreme.
Politicians should not be able to say whatever the fuck they want to say.
The thing about it is, here's how I look at it. Joe Rogan said fucked up things, of course. But the point being is, if you're a shock jock kind of comedian, that's your job. That's what you do. Howard Stern, why aren't you canceling him? He was allowed to stay on the air. He said it several fucking times. I know because I'm not going to get into a whole debate about what he said because we already know. And also, YouTube is so fucking like Centaurian with their rules. I don't want to get us canceled either. So Joe Rogan said that is what it is. But the point being is like, there's also a guy that said he liked being in a movie because he got to kill a bunch of whiteys. He wasn't canceled either. So here's the thing. I can take things at face value and be like, you know what? That's not for me. I'm good though. I'm not going to go on Twitter and rage with my panties on fire saying, get that motherfucker out of here. God, I can't even feed my children because I'm so upset.
Right.
You really are that upset? The world's on fire and you're worried about what somebody said.
Yeah. And I completely and 100% agree with everything that you're saying. I will say this, though. The only thing I will say is if you're a white man and you choose to, in any context whatsoever, use the N-word, hey, buddy, whatever comes to you, you fucking asked for.
Well,
on that front, but everything else, like, you know what I mean?
He said, again, you can sometimes jokes land and sometimes jokes don't. And, the fact of the matter is with the N-word, what he said, obviously it's stupid. I would never say it.
That's my point. If you play stupid
but I'm
games,
not a stand-up comedian.
Prizes.
I don't know I don't know. But the thing about it is, again, that's the fucking point. In comedy, it's supposed to be challenging. It's supposed to be raw. It's supposed to fucking push the limits. That's literally what it is. If you censor something and you say that's not allowed to talk about, when do you move the goalpost? Now, what's the next thing you're not allowed to talk about? When's the next thing you're not allowed to talk about?
I think taboo should be taboo. You know what I mean? Like, I think that like what's always been taboo shall remain taboo. And I think I think when you start to go into thinking you're powerful enough to say the N-word or get away with it, I think that's a power trip on the person doing it. And I think if they get canceled because they did that, that's on fucking them.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Remember,
but like
I remember going
other
back
stuff.
And again, we're not going to talk about this much because it would take too long. And there's so many varying opinions.
There's
and again,
nuances.
like I respect your opinion if it's different from mine, but also I can say to you, I don't give a fuck. and I'll
Yeah.
move on. I'm not going to post about it on fucking Twitter and try to get you
Mhm.
canceled because you said it. I'm not going to try to get you fired from your fucking job unless you're an out and out racist or you know, if you're out and out, like if you're like, you know, I'm a different color than you, so I want to burn you or do something terrible to you. Obviously, you
Right.
shouldn't even be allowed to walk around on free on this earth. But either way, I remember listening to there was a few comedians that were talking about the N-word, and there were black comedians that were talking about the N-word and how white people have used it before. And I think that the main consensus between, and I think Chris Rock was one of them actually, and he had used white people. These were not like up and comer comedians. These were like high level comedians. Like
I think Ricky Gervais is on there. I
Ricky
think I saw
Gervais was
that.
one,
Yeah.
and then there was a few others. But anyway, but that was just one example. There's other examples. But what they said is, if you attempt to do, if you're making levity of it, if you're trying to define the ridiculousness of it, you're also highlighting something that everybody can talk about. Like it's
Mhm.
not like, you know, you're bringing it out from the fucking shadows, and
It's
we
just
all get to
so
talk about it.
I see what you're saying. It's just so easy to say N-word, though. If you're trying to make a point about the word, make a point about the word, how it's used, who should use it, the nuances. I understand. But if you're a white man, you should just say N-word. It's just as easy as saying the word. I
Well,
think if you go
I think
out of your
that's
way to say the word, you're
yeah.
just trying to
I'm not saying
prove
that
that
you
you
should say.
have the power
I
to
don't think the
do it.
word should be used by
You
black
know?
people or white people at all. I think
Yeah.
it's a despairing word. I think it's
Yeah.
literally meant to keep people down in the dirt, and that's why
Right.
people don't like it. But the point being, if you're going to point out the hypocrisy of
Mhm.
calling out certain people that want to cancel people, but it's okay and allowed in certain groups and certain settings to say it, it
Yeah.
shouldn't be allowed at all. That's the point.
Mhm.
That's why they have to make jokes, because no one's addressing the fucking issue. Hey, guess
Yeah.
what? Clean your own fucking house and keep your own backyard clean, and then you can change the world once you get your own life in order. But don't go
Yeah.
around and saying you have to have a regulated set of rules for comedy. It's fucking comedy. Don't go to
Right.
the show if you think they're going to be edgy. That's the
Yeah.
point. End
It's
of
a
story.
mess. It's a fucking mess, dude. It
Well, it's
really
just
is.
stupid. I mean, yeah, but I agree. No, I would never say it. But then again, you and I aren't stand-up comedians. I would never fucking say it. I
It's
mean,
like
I
that.
don't.
It's like that Jack Black Orange County thing. I said, "You better not. You better not."
Yeah, but I mean, you
Get,
know, at the same time, I'm just tired of people trying to cancel everybody, dude. Like
no,
Jesus
I
Christ.
agree. No, I understand. Yeah, it's old as fuck. It really is. Gary says, "Scream in space." Now that is one franchise that can never fucking go to space.
Didn't they
I
do
don't know.
that? What they
Maybe an
called Alien?
astronaut. Yeah, maybe an astronaut. It turns out to be Ghostface. He goes in the fucking corridor. And he's like, your Ghostface is like floating fucking
Well,
gravity
then
free.
well, in that case, the first true ghost face was Hal from 2001 Space Odyssey.
You can't
I
call
can't do
people.
that, Dave.
Yeah,
It
he's
was a
using the
trusted friend, and then it turned.
yeah, he's using the speaker on board to do it. All right, you want to go pee?
I gotta, yeah, my dick's
All
gonna
right,
break off from the
go
water.
pee. I'll keep
All right,
going. We're
yeah.
way behind, but we'll get there. We'll get there with all of it. Jerry Ramey, sexual son bitch. I mailed you a card and a signed photo today off the Patreon, my friend. Sent out a bunch of them today. Says, I think a Loomis Blair witch would just be Loomis saying, "Oh, good. I hope that pale faced bitch gets lost and off the search team trying to save Michael." I think that's fucking exactly what would happen. I don't know if we'll ever do another Blair Witch skit because I feel like we covered the entire Blair Witch franchise with our redneck Blair Witch things, but you guys are bringing up some really fucking interesting ideas for Loomis and Michael to do it. Jägerbomb says Batman 89 was released on my 12th birthday, June 23rd. That's fucking dope, dude. And one thing about Batman 89 that I remember is that gold lettering, the toys that it came in, like the packages. When I watched the movie today and Joker used that boxing glove thing to break the TV, they had that toy. You guys remember that? They had the Batman lettering with the stars above it, the Batmobile in that gold box. Like, man, they don't do toys like they used to do fucking toys. Like, there's just something special about being a kid and these movies coming out and the toys that went around them. Still today, as an adult, I walk to a flea market and someone's got that old school, like, gold lettering Batman with the figure inside of it, and I get all inside of my fucking feels. That was a great time to be alive, Jägerbomb. No fucking doubts, no doubtskis, potatoes about it. How far are we behind on the chat? We've just been talking shit, having a good time. Tyler Rumfeld, thanks, buddy. He says, talking about what shows to watch, and you guys haven't even seen Trailer Park Boys. Thought you were gonna be friends, guys. Red Lobster, my treat. I've seen clips of Trailer Park Boys, dude, and I've never gotten it. I know, like, but you're not the first. Like 20 people probably have come up to us over the years and be like, you guys would love Trailer Park Boys. And I've watched probably a total of 30 to 40 minutes and I've never gotten it. Maybe that's because we live around so many people that are just like that in everyday life here in old Kentucky, which I love. I love Kentucky. I do. But keep saying it, man. And eventually maybe we'll dig our fingers inside of it. That's not where I meant to say with that. Jerry Ramey again. Thanks, buddy. He says, I'll save that one for Jay. I'll remind Jay about it. But better Punisher, John Bernthal or Thomas Jane? For us, I can speak for Jay on this. Well, maybe I can't. For me, it's Thomas Jane. I think John Bernthal did an amazing job in the Netflix series. I think John Bernthal had the best chance for success with the story, with the special effects, with how they built it. But I'll tell you this, I would trade John Bernthal's Punisher series any day to insert Thomas Jane. If you put Thomas Jane in John Bernthal's series, I think it would be the greatest Punisher we've ever gotten. If you put John Bernthal in Thomas Jane's Punisher movie, would it be that good? I don't know. Thomas Jane's my Punisher. That's just how I feel about it. But I've always had a sore spot with John Bernthal since he slept with his best friend's wife in Walking Dead. I know that's a fucked up thing, but I just can't let go of it. It's not his fault, not the actor's fault. But if you watch Dirty Laundry with Thomas Jane, that's the Punisher to me. And I loved his performance as Punisher in the movie. I just thought the movie failed him a little bit. But for me, it's definitely Thomas Jane. But John Bernthal, with the show production overall, has the best iteration of the Punisher to date, no doubt. Will McSwain, that handsome fucking face, says, when you boys going to watch The Haunting of Hill House? Hey, man, I didn't watch it. I watched that shit. I don't break character to the DVD commentary. I'm head to toe legit. I watched Haunting Hill House when it came out, and it scared the tits out of me. It would scare the fuckity fuck dicks out of Jay, but I don't think he's ever watched it. So I'll bring that up to him, Will, because I think that would scare him. That's the kind of shit that would fuck with Jay, no doubt about it. No fucking two ways about it. Ain't no way a telephone just rings at a police station. No way, no how. It's Halloween 4. Ryder says, will you both be my Valentine? Yes, we will. And as long as you don't mind a little bit of finger action after dinner from both of us equally. We only share if we can share at the same time. What the fuck? They call me Stamps. Thanks, buddy. He says, if they made a No Way Home style Batman movie, which villains would you want to see in it? Oh, I don't, like, this is the thing, Anthony. This is the thing. When we get these options, it's like it just overloads. Now we have the multiverse with Spider-Man, and then you can use that to bring in X-Men and all this shit. They kind of do have a No Way Home style Batman with what's coming out with the Flash, and it's just like fucking overload. So it's like, I want to slow it down and take it piece by piece. There's so many comic book stories that have not been told that would be so fucking rad if they took the time to do it. But who would I want to see in it? Villains wise, Batman, all the villains they haven't shown actually. But if you brought back old villains from the Batman franchise, who would you want to see? Obviously we're never going to get Heath Ledger because that's impossible. But Jack Nicholson is the Joker. That can't happen because he's just too old now. So Jay, this is a good question, dude. If they know Way Home style Batman, what villains from the previous franchise would you want to see come back in the new movie? I'm thinking maybe Scarecrow. You can't do Joker, either of the Jokers.
Well, so what?
Jim Carrey is the Riddler.
What old villains would I like to see return?
Like if they No Way Home to Batman.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
What villains would you like to see? And while you answer that, I will be right back. And by the way, when you're done with that, if you can remember,
I can't promise anything. I have been drinking a lot of apple juice.
Will McSwain wants to know when you're going to be watching The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, so I won't forget, Will. I won't watch it. Is it scary? I don't know. I might watch it. I don't know. I'm so caught up with the like the like Spartacus, Rome, the TV shows that are based on like historical stuff. I don't know. I'll watch it. I mean, I hope it's good. I'll definitely check it out. I couldn't give you a time frame there, sir. I feel like I'm trying to negotiate with the teacher, you know, when I'm going to turn in my project, that she said, you said a few days ago that you were going to have it, and now it's not here. And I'm like, yeah, but I've had a lot of problems going on. Okay. I mean, you know, Jesus Christ. I mean, my dog, it had diarrhea and I had to clean it up constantly, the poop. And I've been feeling like a weird pain in my left foot, and it's prevented me from typing. Anyway, you get the point. But as far as villains returning in a Spider-Man No Way Home type of situation, Jim Carrey would be okay. I would go with Jim Carrey. Jack Nicholson is probably, you know, like Mike mentioned, too old. I think under a different director. No, I can't say that. I was going to say Tommy Lee Jones is Two-Face, but well, no, I mean, Tommy Lee Jones, he's too old. Never mind. I forget it. Get it out of here. I was just like, Batman Forever has grown on me in recent times, but it was so cartoony. It was really weird. Like, Tommy Lee Jones is an amazing actor, and that part was really well done. Or that the character of Two-Face was really well done. And so it would have suited Tommy Lee Jones perfectly. But unfortunately, studio interference and whatever, Joel Schumacher made a, you know, kid-friendly type of interpretation of that character. But I would have loved to have seen how well Tommy Lee Jones would have emboldened that character under a different director, or the studio having no involvement in it. I will say a character that I would love to see brought to a Batman movie, Victor Zsasz would be awesome. Black Mask would be great. The Red Hood, Jason Todd, would be awesome as well. A true Mr. Freeze story would be phenomenal, because he is one of those villains, one of those unique villains that you can kind of understand why he's doing what he's doing, because he's not like just out and out bad. He's not like, I want to see the world burn because I have hemorrhoids. Fuck it. I hate everyone and everyone hates me. Victor Freeze does what he does because of his wife. They kind of touched on it in Batman and Robin, but that was such a trash fire that you might well forget that. But Tony AKC, thank you so much. He says, is there anyone else that you would love to see play Batman that hasn't played him yet? Yes, I'm sure there is. I think a really good Batman. I don't know why. I think he could bring the uniqueness that you need for Bruce Wayne, but also the gruffness and the roughness that you need for Batman. Is the dude from, and I can never remember his fucking name, and I should, but the main lead in The Guest. What the fuck is his name? Hold on one moment, and I'll look it up. But yeah, that guy, I think that guy would be a great Batman. What's your name, sir? Dan Stevens. Yes, Dan Stevens. Oh, Action. That's correct. Lee Pace would be a really good Batman as well. I agree with that. Carl Urban. I think Carl Urban is one of those guys that they missed the train on. I think, and you know, while I love that we got Ben Affleck as Batman, because I think Ben Affleck as Batman, as far as a live action Batman, is as close to the actual vision of Batman that was it Jerry Siegel and Bob Kane had. I think that Carl Urban would have been phenomenal. I really do. Nick Antelli says he heard Jensen Ackles might be taking the role as Red Hood. I like that. I could see that. I could see that. I would be fine with that. I would be fine with that. Cornpone Flick says, I always thought Clive Owen would be a good Batman. He would, but the thing about Clive Owen is I feel like Clive Owen, I don't really see Batman necessarily. I see more along the lines of like, I could see him being something like a Court of Owls type of guy. You know what I mean? Like pulling the strings and things like that. I think I see Clive Owen doing that. Bill Finger and Bob Kane. Yes, I'm sorry, Bill Finger.
Clive Owen would be a great Court of Owls character.
Huh?
I agree with you. Clive Owen would be a great Court of Owls character.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody they mentioned that he would be good as a as Batman, but I really don't see it.
Back in the day, I think so for sure. Hey, thanks,
Our-
Manic Movie Lovers. Appreciate that.
Yeah, RJ McCready says Rob Lowe as Batman. Maybe, I don't know. I mean,
He's
all
definitely
the you know, inappropriate charges that would follow his portrayal of Batman would just be too much. I do like Rob Lowe though.
I do too. Yeah. And he's pretty much ageless, actually. He looks great. Jake Messman, thanks, buddy. Says, have you guys done any Peacemaker coverage yet? I just binged the available episodes over the weekend and I'm now obsessed. We talked about that earlier, Jake. We fucking love it, dude. And we're gonna
it's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, we have screeners for it. So on the last day of the last episode airs that day, we'll have a review of the whole series. But dude, we fucking love it, man.
Well, I got it, by the way. Vanessa, the great Vanessa, says me as Batman 100. I mean, Vanessa, look, it would just be too dynamite.
She's got detective skills.
You would be such a great Batman that it would ruin it for everyone else to follow in your footsteps. You would be like that of a typhoon that would wipe out anything in your way and leave nothing but destruction behind, so no one could follow you. I've been watching way too much fucking like Spartacus and Rome and shit, dude, because I am talking in fucking ancient tongue.
I would take this though. Ryder says, "What's the coolest new commentaries on the Patreon?" We just did Hatchet, and we did it with both Katie and April. That was a fucking fun time. That was a blasty goddamn blast.
Mike, did you you can? Why am I still full screen?
Oh, I didn't even fucking realize, dude. I was just talking, didn't even realize.
I like it was fine. It just felt like it felt like, you know what it felt like? It felt like you were feeding me lines, but you forgot to turn your mic off.
Dude,
it was like if I was doing a news show. You'd be like feeding. It's like, don't forget to talk about the recent acquisition of Warner Brothers.
Well, this whole month, dude, I hit myself in my own face with my car door when I went to close it today. I'm just not on my game. Dan Heron, thanks, buddy. He says, can we at least cancel Stephanie? Yes, we love you too, Dan. And yes, Stephanie's canceled.
We must not.
Over and over
Stephanie
again.
keeps balance.
Fuck Stephanie, Kyle.
And then she doesn't like Mike, and I like that. I like
you,
that.
Stephanie. Fuck you, Jay. Joey Hitters, thanks, buddy. He says, hey there, I'm rebranding my channel into a movie review channel. Any advice? The only advice that I can give you, Joey, is to just try to do something different from what everybody else is doing. Be yourself. He said, I'm rebranding my channel into a movie review channel. So any advice? And
I see.
Yeah, just whatever you can do, man. Most people get into YouTube because somebody inspired them to. So sometimes it's hard to not do the same exact thing that they're doing, because that's why you wanted to do that. My advice to you is look deep within about what you really love, what you really love, and whether it's popular or not, start with that, because you'll never get fucking tired.
Yeah, make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. Make sure that you want to do movie reviews. Like if it's something you're passionate about and you're going to have fun doing, then fucking do it.
Yeah.
But that's the main thing. Don't do shit like you're not going to like. If you're not really into the movie reviews or whatever, I don't know, just if you're into crocheting, make the best crocheting fucking YouTube video you've ever, keep doing that. I don't know. You got to find your interest though.
Yeah, when you're just starting out, a niche is a great place to start. You don't have to, but a niche is a really great place to start, my friend.
Movie review channels are hard, man. No doubt, it's full of hacks. I mean, me and Mike included. I mean, even when we started back in 2012, dude, it was a fucking piranha pit.
Oh yeah. Oh, for instance, I just did because I want to do stuff I want to do, right? So you go see a movie, you want to talk about it with the people or whatever. I just put up a review for Moonfall. I got 12 views on it, even where we're at now, because nobody, everybody wants the Halloween, they want the stuff like that. But that's a part of it. When you put something out there, that's not something you usually do.
I tried to dislike the video, but it was disabled.
Yeah, it's hard to, I know,
but I wanted to be that, now that we don't have that dislike button anymore, I feel kind of lonely. It's you don't get that dislike anymore. But okay, but let's get on to that big fat cock in the sky.
We got to
like a bat.
We got to catch up on the chat, and then as soon as we do that, we can. But Joe Madero says, I remember my dad took me out of school early to see Batman in 1989, and it was fucking awesome. Love you guys.
Badass, dude.
That's a great memory, dude.
Dude, the only time I got taken out of school early to see any movie was it was a good memory. I remember going to see Star Wars Episode 1 opening day.
Yeah.
I was in middle school and they took me out. My uncle and his wife picked Cody and I up, my brother, and we got to see it early or the day opening. And we had to, but it started because the tickets were rare. It was hard to get. I think they took us out at 11, and we had to be there at noon. It was fucking awesome.
Dude, that's the beautiful thing about movies is the memories that come with them. Times like that, like when your parents take you out of school, or when you went to see it with a couple buddies, or maybe you got your wiener touched in the theater by a girl for the first time, like whatever they are. Movie memories are why movies
or
are
the
so
movie
special.
Usher that accidentally touched your wiener, but he was like, it was on purpose.
That son of a bitch. Tony AKC, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that, man. He says, is there anyone else that would love to see Batman that has? Is there anyone else that you would love to see Batman that hasn't played him yet? I feel like
Well, yeah, there's quite a few, but I mean, I mentioned Ray Stevens.
John Hamm for me. I would love to see John Hamm play Batman. I think,
but he's got legal problems.
John Hamm does?
I think it's John Hamm. Isn't that the one that wasn't he in the news like a few months ago for like?
No, it's Army Hammers who you're thinking
of. Whatever. There's too many Ham.
John Hamm is the Madman guy.
Okay, never mind. Army Hammer. Yeah, okay, so
yeah, but Army
Hammer.
Their
last name is Ham related.
Yeah, if he didn't like eating women.
It'd be funny. It'd be funny is if they cast Casey Affleck. It's like keep that tradition going.
He'd be a great. He'd be
I think
great.
Casey
Robin.
Affleck. I'm gonna go out here on a limb, and I'll say Casey Affleck, just based on his performance in Manchester by the Sea, is more of a. He's a better actor than Ben. He just really is.
I won't say that, but I will say that if you've never seen Gone Baby Gone.
I know I haven't watched it yet. But is it on the same level of the acting ability as Manchester by the Sea?
Yep. Did it
win an Academy Award?
Probably not. No, but it should.
Then shut your mouth.
It should have.
Casey Affleck for life.
Flamethrower Fluff Salisbury. It's an amazing name. Says, I want to see Gilbert Godfrey play Batman just for the voice. Did you fucking imagine?
Oh God, dude.
Where were the other drugs going?
I'm trying to think. A Gilbert Godfrey saying, Iago is all I can think of. Aladdin. It's Aladdin.
Hey, Liev Schreiber would be a good Batman.
I think Liev
probably.
Dude, you've got to watch fucking
Cotton. I want to. I almost watched.
Dude.
Almost started last night. Ended up just watching music videos on YouTube instead. But I really want to watch.
You're gonna love it. Wait till I think the second episode is really gonna hook you in. But dude, Jesus Christ, yes, Liev Schreiber would be awesome.
Yeah, I do. That's gonna get watched. I promise you that. Rebecca Mayberry, thank you. Says I will continuously send super chats until I get a review and a ranking of all the Sleepaway Camp movies. Love you guys so much. Get it up.
Hey, thank you so much. And by the way, well, because you've admitted that, continue sending your super chats, and we may do it.
We did review the first Sleepaway Camp when she's like, "I got a dick." What?
Yeah, I remember that. It's like, oh, like her face, yeah,
it's a dick.
I forgot it was there.
I've never seen any of the sequels though, so maybe one day we will. Thank you, Gary. Thank you. Says, really enjoyed Urban as Dredd. Carl Urban as Dredd fucking ruled. He says, I wish they made more so they could have done one with Dredd's brother Rico and another one with the Dark Judges.
I always remember, and I was Rico. Was he the main bad guy? I don't know if that was his name. I can't remember. But in the Stallone movie, he's like, "I'm your family." He's like, "But I'm the law." He's like, "The law."
Maybe I can't remember.
And then he reprograms that robot. He's like, commands. He's like, "Oh, we're going to war." I mean, I know it's corny and shit, but yeah. First off, we all know, and I think that you would know this as well. Carl Urban did that movie as basically an audition for Batman. Yeah, like that's what he was campaigning hard for it. And I mean, it really is a crime that he didn't get it. I mean, of course, we got Ben Affleck, but I'm just saying it really is a crime that we never got to see Carl Urban as Batman.
And we never got a Dredd sequel either, which I think everybody agrees.
Dude, it's so weird about Dredd. I don't understand. It was such a fucking awesome movie. Dredd was an amazing movie.
It was bad marketing, man. It didn't make enough, so they just said, fuck it. Sucks. Marco V. Villatoro, thanks, buddy. Says, Mike and Jay, out of these actors, who's a better choice to play Terry McGinnis? Joe Keery, Dylan O'Brien, Tyler Posey, and Tanner Buchanan. Terry McGinnis. Jay, who is Terry McGinnis?
That sounds real fucking familiar.
I gotta Google it.
Is it? Oh shit! I'm gonna look stupid here because it sounds like a comic book character.
It's a fictional superhero. Oh, he was Beyond, Batman Beyond.
Yeah, fucking duh.
Batman. Batman
Yeah,
Beyond.
he's the main guy. Yeah, Terry. Well, here's the thing about Batman Beyond. I do enjoy it, but I grew up on the animated series of Batman, so I never, when they switched over to Batman Beyond, I really didn't follow it as much. I think it's really unique and it's different, but
I don't know any of those actors. Joe Keery, I know him from Stranger Things. I think Dylan O'Brien, I know him from
Terry
the
McGinnis has to
Wallflowers.
be someone young, in
Tanner
shape,
Buchanan.
charismatic.
I'll say Tanner Buchanan was Robbie and Cobra Kai. I'd say no to that one.
Well, no,
I go Joe Keery out of those options. I'd probably go Joe Keery from Stranger Things.
I couldn't I couldn't answer you. I mean, because I feel like that's a like a really unique role and it has to be cast just right. Honestly, I'll throw my hat in the ring. Fuck it. I think the guy that would be a really good Terry McGinnis, and I know that some of you guys are gonna disagree, but I really do. There's something about his face and the way that he's not annoying to me. And I feel like he does carry and convey his emotions pretty well. Is the dude from Ready Player One, the main guy that was Cyclops in X-Men?
I don't like that guy.
I know you don't like him, but I'm just saying I feel like he does a pretty good job in conveying the emotions. Like he did a really good job. I think he was the most, at least, unfortunately, James Marsden was awesome. He looked the part of Cyclops, but they underused him. But at least he did better with that role than any, James Marsden did.
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't like that guy's face, but I know what you're saying. I just don't like his
He's really good in
fucking
Mud, too.
face. Yeah, he was good in Mud. He was good in Tinder Bar too. He was good in
No,
that.
that was a great movie. Yeah.
Mercurio 80 says Jay's the face of Wham. Mike, deal with it. Fine, just just go then.
I put it on every day and I hate it.
Thanks, I hate it.
I put it on every day. It comes out of a cup. It's called shit.
Happy birthday, Bradley Valencia. Bradley Valencia.
Hey, happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday. And now that we are caught up with you beautiful fuckers and your beautiful super chats, thank you so much. Garrett Veal pops in with one. Thanks, buddy.
That's a sexy fuck.
Pumped for this. Batman has always been my favorite hero. When I was little, I would run around the neighborhood in full Batman costume. Middle of August, everyone thought I was nuts. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Jesus Christ. When you were little, I still do that every day. I haven't been arrested yet because I only run around late at night at 2:00 in the morning when no one's up.
I fucking love Garrett and I love Batman too, dude. This movie, all right.
Well, based on what Garrett wore when we met him at Scarefest, I figured he would have liked Vicky Vale.
He did look kind of like Vicky Vale, and that's a compliment, dude. We both wanted to fuck you. But yeah, so Batman 1989, getting into the review now.
So good.
Dude, the Batman, the superhero movie of our childhood. If you grew up around our time, you got to remember, like, it was a weird time. Like, they brought out the toys, but it was also sort of adult, and it was also dark, and it also was just like dude, this movie, like, I know that Superman was the first one, but Batman was different. It was like, it was not all this. Like, as good as Christopher Reeve Superman was, Batman was not supposed to be corny. It was not supposed to be, well, it had its own feel.
The thing about the Tim Burton Batman is, like, it struck a chord between the fantastical and the grounded that I think that a lot of other directors haven't been able to do. But that's just Tim Burton's unique style. There's something about Tim Burton's style that almost makes it very Alice in Wonderland with certain shots, and then super grounded in other shots. Like, he has that unique ability. But yeah, it's very gothic. It's very in some instances, I think it captures the world, at least how Batman sees it. Is a very, like, strange kind of amalgam of different things. Like, I don't know. I feel like Tim Burton was the right choice. It's weird, but I wanted to, before we get into the greatness, this movie is so fucking good. I mean, to me, it's a 10. It's always going to be a 10. I mean, this movie has a boner for life with me. You can put it in my butt any day of the week, and I don't even care if it's Christmas. It can still do it. But the thing about this movie is it's got a pretty crazy, and I only know this, and I'm sure you looked it up too. It's got a kind of crazy from idea to film. The main thing is, in the production of this, they had several scripts that went through before they made this movie. Eventually they settled on a 1985 release. And what they really wanted to do was they wanted to follow in the footsteps of the Christopher Reeve Superman. They wanted to make it more on that kind of lighthearted telling. By the way, I love Superman the movie. The Superman the movie is great with Gene Hackman. It's great, but they wanted to make it kind of like that. And the actual original writer was like, no, we got to make it dark. That there's a reason why it needs to come back, because the campiness of the 70s or 60s had really kind of, and actually Batman's popularity had gone down. So it was like, everybody was like, yeah, Batman's kind of a joke, but we'll make it so we'll keep in that line. The interesting thing is, and I felt like this was like the most interesting, is that at one point during the production of the film and who they were going to get to direct it, other than Ivan Reitman, he popped up. They were going to get Ivan Reitman. He wanted to cast Bill Murray as Batman, Eddie Murphy as Robin, which would have been fucking terrible, god awful. Because again, he was going with the campy version of it. But they actually did, strangely, they considered Wes Craven for the movie. Because he did Swamp Thing. Yeah. And they were like, oh, Swamp Thing was great. So Wes Craven, dude, can you imagine a world? Because I mean, there's multiverse motherfuckers. So who knows? In that one world, Wes Craven directed Batman. I don't know if I should have a boner or be scared or both.
It's crazy, man.
But what I think it was more interesting is that Willem Dafoe, we both thought, and I think everybody else here thought, that he tried out for Joker. It was actually Batman that he wanted to be, not Joker. That's according to the sources, that it was falsely reported that he tried out for Joker. Yeah. The other thing was, dude, the craziest possible casting. I mean, and by the way, everybody remembers, the Ben Affleck, everybody hated him. Dude, when they cast Michael Keaton, 50,000 fucking signatures were sent to Warner Brothers and said, fuck that guy. He's a Mr. Mom. He vacuums and he's a man.
This is pre-internet. Like, they had to get this chain letter shit sent to Warner Brothers.
50,000 goddamn signatures of people that have never seen a vagina in their life sent a letter to Warner Brothers demanding Michael Keaton be removed.
It's crazy.
But they had I guess they were thinking like Michael, they were thinking Mr. Mom, they were thinking Beetlejuice. By the way, Beetlejuice was the movie that actually got Tim Burton the job, because they greenlit the movie after Beetlejuice was a success. But now here's the really juicy nutsack. What I thought was, because you think about Michael Keaton, I think was great. I think he played the duality of the role really well. I do enjoy him as Bruce Wayne, and I did think he was awesome as Batman. But then you look at the people that auditioned for it, and that could have been Batman. Kevin Costner, Mel Gibson, Charlie Sheen, Tom Selleck, Harrison Ford, Dennis Quaid. There. First off, I was thinking the only one that even stood remotely interesting to me, Harrison Ford, fuck no. Not that he's not a great actor, but dude, Indiana Jones, Han Solo,
the darkness isn't
fucking
there.
Gotham City's protector.
He's not gothic dark enough. Like,
I was like, first off, Harrison, you've got enough roles. Stop. I would have taken. I think that I really do think. I'm thinking about that. I think that not Charlie Sheen. I think that Dennis Quaid could have pulled it off.
Quaid could have pulled it off. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, but and then what I think also is pretty funny is that and I would never say, but dude, just because of his performance in Labyrinth, they also considered David Bowie as Joker. You remember how he was?
He probably could have pulled it off. Yeah.
I think so. I think
probably could have pulled it off.
I think he looked more. I think David Bowie looks more Jokerish, at least more accurate in the comic books than Jack Nicholson. And I love Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson was a master in this role, but David Bowie as we all remember him as Goblin King in the Labyrinth, this tall, weird, kind of quirky character. I think he could have brought that to that role and been like pretty damn fucking accurate, pretty good, pretty scary. And the other ones that were on there that was of mention is John Lithgow and James Woods as Joker. The thing about John Lithgow, though, John Lithgow turned it down. Like, he actually said, he came out later and said that he begged them not to cast him because he didn't think he'd be a good Joker. And then he said that's his number one regret in life. I'm glad that John Lithgow didn't get it, because I feel like he's too much of a kindly face to really portray an evil character. James Woods would have been interesting, but I swear to God, out of the list, that could have Robin Williams included, because Robin Williams jockeyed hard for Joker.
He would have been
I think Joker. David Bowie would have been the number one pick.
I would have probably gone Robin, but I totally I don't disagree that Bowie would have been a pick. The thing about Joker, dude, is it's a character that has more room to grow and to do wild shit with than almost anything.
Yeah.
Like if you think about, and that's my main thing with this movie too. So what we got was Jack Nicholson, right? And Jack Nicholson is an all-time great fucking actor, right? Like Jack Nicholson as anyone at that time in his career would have been amazing. Like almost.
And we also know that they were basing that pick on the fact that he was a huge name and his success in The Shining,
right?
And One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Right. But there's almost nothing about Jack Nicholson that screams Joker to you. Unless you went back, I think a few years before.
Jack in The Shining.
Yeah, Jack in The Shining. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, like you said, unless you went back a few years before. Now, I don't think Nicholson ever nailed the comic book Joker.
No, he never.
But he's so good as an actor that it didn't really matter that it didn't feel like the comic book Joker. And I think that's just a testament to how great Nicholson is as a character. But there's one scene in this movie, dude, where it's maybe the coolest looking Joker of anything. And that's when he's talking to Jack Palance. And he just found out that he got double crossed. And he shows up at his office and he's like,
that was great. Oh,
he
was in shadow.
Yeah, it's like, hello, Sugar Bumps. He's like, it's me, Sugar Bumps, or whatever. When he's in that darkness there, and you just see the lips just like brighten up just a little bit, like the and he's a little bit in shadow, dude. That one particular scene, though Jack Nicholson is not very Jokerish as his own on his own, that one scene is probably the coolest Joker has ever looked on screen in the history of fucking Batman. Dude.
Well, I liked how they kept him. I liked how when he walked off the elevator and they kept him in shadow. And then he was talking, and no one had seen his face yet, so you didn't know what the Joker was going to look like at this point. I mean, you saw him got out from the surgery, and that laugh is iconic. He did a great job with that laugh.
Yeah, he did.
But it also sounds like an old man that just won a big pot at the casino. But but it was still good. It was iconic. But when he comes in and they keep him in the dark, and then when the old guy, which by the way, the old guy that's in this movie is also the bad guy in Tango and Cash. He's a great fucking actor.
Jack Palance.
He's awesome. Jack Palance, yeah. And he's like, let me pour you a drink. And he was like, don't bother. He's like, your life won't be worth spit.
He's so good, dude.
There was something about when Jack Nicholson is like, you set me up over a woman. Oh, woman! A woman! It was one of those things. Yeah, it was very Al Pacino-ish. I liked that there was this barely contained, which a lot of people don't understand about Joker, this barely contained rage that's psychotic, like I'm gonna fucking stab you in the throat rage that was right at the surface that he was doing very well. And he was like, Jack, and he's like, Jack is dead, my friend. And then one of the best reveals of all time in all cinema, Jack is dead, my friend. You can call me the Joker. When he comes into the light and he takes us, and as you can see, I'm a lot happier, dude. Huh? Yeah, it was so fucking good, dude. That was like, it gives you chill bumps all the way up down your crack because you're like, I cannot believe an actor of this caliber did this role because it was so perfect for him.
And that's what I'm saying. Like he doesn't fit the mold of Joker very well. Like it just doesn't. The size, the look, the shape, all that. But he's such a good actor, he transcended that. Yeah. But like, and there's those scenes too, dude. Like when Jack Palance is talking to him, he's like, "Cause you, I'm a number one, and guy."
Yeah, guy. I always thought he said, "and I." I always thought he was like trying to say, "and you, I'm my number one, and I." Like I'm also the number one.
But like, yeah, and then like, and even before he became Joker, he was really creepy and fucked up and funny. Like when she's like, "You look fine." He's like, "I didn't ask."
Dude, I still use that line today. Like when April she's like, "You look good." I was like, "I didn't ask."
Yeah, dude, it's, so
it's such an iconic look. You know, the thing what Jack Nicholson did was he breathed life into a character that really, I mean, I know that the Joker had been portrayed before on screen. Obviously, he did, you know, a master of the trade was in the Adam West early days. Caesar
Romero, I think.
No, not Caesar.
No, Raul.
Maybe Raul. I can't remember. But literally, what's funny about that? He didn't want to shave his mustache, so you can actually see his mustache underneath the makeup. But he did a phenomenal job. He actually did look the comic book accurate part. So, but Jack Nicholson was the first one to really absorb it and bring a levity to it and a gravitas to it that had not been done before.
Yeah.
and it was really, and it was memorable and it's iconic, and that Joker is always going to be iconic. And I think that anybody that comes after Jack Nicholson will always look to Jack Nicholson as and he is
Cesar Romero.
Cesar Romero. Yes, obviously Cesar Romero is the grandfather, but Jack Nicholson is the fucking conquering hero that
Thanks,
every
Patrick.
other actor that comes after Nicholson will always look to Nicholson as like the guide of what
Yeah.
a Joker should be, because you know he balanced it really well. He's weird and he's strange and he's funny, but you also know he's a vicious fucking killer, and he will kill you at any moment's notice just for his own pleasure.
And he made it his own too. Like, and I gotta think, dude, like it's weird watching this movie now because like they put that it's almost terrible, but it's almost makes
I think
sense.
the
for
practical
comic books.
effects look. I liked it.
But that, like, yeah, but I like it overall, but like, and especially for the time. Anything you say about this movie comes with a caveat of, I think this movie gets double credit, which for you it's a 10. For me, it's a 9.5. Like, and I think I used to say it was a 10.
Blasphemy!
I think
You
I'm
speak
getting,
in my temple.
I think I'm getting the stingier in my old age, but anything you say or watch about this movie today, you have to give it extra credit because nobody did it. Like, I know Superman existed, but apart from that, nobody fucking did this. This was brand new. This kind of superhero movie was brand new. They didn't have Marvel. They didn't have DC. They weren't trying to copy anything.
It was its own thing.
They were on a world of their own. And there's so many aspects of it, even not having anything to base it off of, that they fucking nailed it.
And also it was a hard movie. Dude, there was a stigma around Batman when they made it because everybody else was thinking of Adam West.
Yep. Yeah.
That's all they were
exactly.
thinking of. When Superman came out, because they were like, oh, well, that's all they wanted. They wanted the Christopher Reeve lighthearted approach to the character.
Yeah.
And they thought that would sell. And this was like I got balls, bitch, and I'm gonna go out on the plank and I ain't gonna fall. I'm gonna tell you, I walked out on that plank, I'm gonna bounce back up.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like, but that's I liked it because it had balls. I mean, it was the first type of its movie to be like, this is a dark ass superhero. The characters that were created in the 40s, it was supposed to be a dark character, so let's go with that. And
Yeah,
I mean, they pulled it off.
It's as original of a comic book movie as there is in the history of the world. Like, I know it's based on an IP, and I know it's based on comic books and a TV show and all that came before, but this is as original gets because they created something.
Soundtracks ever.
They brought something to life that had never ever been brought to life in this way before. So they deserve all the credit for that, and it changed superhero movies for the history of everything. But
I think what happened is I think we got spoiled a little bit, because what happened is, you know, when we grew up and Jack Nicholson was Joker, like he was just Joker, like that's always going to be the Joker of our time. And then you started seeing different interpretations of him. Heath Ledger obviously did a masterful portrayal of him in a different way that we'd never seen before. So I feel like what Jack Nicholson was for us, Jack Nicholson was goddamn Def Leppard. And then when Heath Ledger came out, he was Nirvana. And then he kind of shook up the whole image scene. But I still think, you know what? I can't, because I've heard this before. Like, who you think is the best Joker? Joaquin Phoenix, Heath Ledger, or Jack Nicholson? They're also different, and they're also like unique in their own way. I couldn't. I think they're perfect in their own way. So they're already 10s. So it's hard for me to say which one's better than the other.
I think actually watching this again, I actually have my answer on that, and I've always struggled with it too. For me, the best Joker has got to be between Ledger and Phoenix, but because this is so different, like. But I think that's almost more of a credit to Jack Nicholson than it is a discredit, because Jack Nicholson just played a character. Like, he was his own version of the Joker, his own character. And I think that's special in its own right. I think who's the best Joker when it comes down to like the comic
I just feel like they were so different, though. They didn't follow each other at all, really.
Right. No, and they didn't. And that's why Joker's just such a cool role. And Jared Leto is really the only one to date to fuck it up.
Yeah, he can suck some more crack dick from 7-Eleven.
But no, Jack Nicholson, though he's not my favorite Joker of all time, I just think that he is a fucking movie star, and he's an amazing actor, and he took a role that nobody ever did before, sans the TV series, which is a completely different portrayal of it.
Well, some people do like that guy.
He was amazing in it, but
so I think we need. But you know what? We're giving Nicholson. By the way, and again, these are all like facts you can look up yourselves. These facts that we're talking about. Nicholson did want top billing He wanted a part of the merchandise. He wanted to, have his own shooting schedule. He's
big
Jack
risk.
fucking Nicholson.
He was taking a
So,
big risk too.
Yeah, but he's also Jack fucking Nicholson, so he can get what
Yeah.
he wants. If he wants his own shooting schedule, I would say as a director like Tim Burton did, he's like, okay, and would he like a hand job as well?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna give that. I think
Mhm.
Nicholson took a role on a piece of paper that it only existed really in the 1960s show and in comic books before that, and it was all very okay. It's a cartoony type of villain. He took that off the page and he made something very fucking unique. He did grandfather in, to me anyway. I really do think he grandfathered in the modern day persona of what we get on film with Joker. I mean, without him, everybody would be chasing down and trying to do Cesar Romero.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with his portrayal. I mean, obviously that show is meant to be goofy, but that's not what Joker is.
It's the whole movie, like not just Nicholson, but the entire movie, dude. It was a pioneer. It was a true pioneer effort. But like even going in, so like moving on to Keaton a little bit here. Keaton as Batman is like so weird because like you watch it, and I don't think he's the best Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he must be king of the Wicker people.
I think that I'm ready to say one thing for sure. Watching this again now is that Keaton as Batman in that suit, that leather fucking suit that they made, that looks just so fucking cool.
I loved it.
Keaton as Batman in that suit in this movie, I think is the coolest. Yeah, I think it's the coolest Batman to date. Like I love Batflick.
Yeah.
Like I love Batflick, dude. And I think Batflick in action where he can actually move. Keaton was held back by the suit because he could only do like high kicks. Like
he could only move his head in a certain way. That became the Keaton turn, which is awesome though. It's very dramatic.
I think those little moments that we got a Batfleck, like in the warehouse where he's just beating the fuck out of people, is probably the coolest moments of like live action fighting Batman. But I think Keaton in that suit in this movie is the coolest fucking rendition of Batman to date on screen.
I agree. I think that Michael Keaton as Batman, and I did enjoy him as Bruce Wayne as well. Not as strongly. I think that he wasn't a very strong, convincing Bruce Wayne, but I feel like he showed enough of like kind of a unawares type of Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he forgot his name when Vicky Vale approached him at the party, and the weird interactions that he had with Knox and Vicky Vale in the viewing of the statues room or whatever. I feel like because I bought it in Japan. I feel like that was convincing, but as Batman himself, and I think he did. To me, it's always going to be Michael Keaton, and the reason is Ben Affleck may be a better on-screen Batman. It very may well be him, but for me, nostalgic, what I grew up with, what I see as Batman. When I see Batman in my head, I think of the Danny Elfman theme, and I see that yellow and black fucking symbol. That's goddamn Batman, motherfucker.
Me too.
It's the same thing as it's the same thing as Pierce Bronson. Pierce Bronson and James Bond. Daniel Craig may be the best James Bond to ever exist, period. But we grew up with Pierce Bronson as our James Bond. So
yeah, but it's not just that. Like it's not only just that we grew up with him. I actually am ready to say that Keaton is the best Batman to me because it's not like he's not the best Bruce Wayne. I agree with
think
you
he
on
is,
that.
but yeah.
Oh, the best Bruce Wayne.
No,
like,
I mean, I think he's the best
Bruce
Batman,
Wayne.
but yeah.
He doesn't really fit as Bruce Wayne. He's almost tinier and he's almost a little more goofy than he would expect Bruce Wayne
he
to
looks
be.
like that. He looks like he's playing the role that he did in what was it, Sober and whatever, that the movie that they ultimately hired him on, Sober and Waiting.
I think it's just Sober is the name of the movie.
Yeah,
but,
he kind of looks like he's just drunk all the time, and he's like, I really don't want to be here.
Yeah, like I don't think he's the best Bruce Wayne because he just doesn't look Bruce. He's got like that hair, like whatever. He doesn't look like Bruce Wayne. But the scenes that you see of him being Batman, like specifically when he picks up the Joker, and the first time Jack Nicholson's character,
Jesus,
he's like Jesus.
That was great.
Dude, the way that Batman looks at him.
That reminded me when he said Jesus, when Nicholson said Jesus, it reminded me of my big dad when he saw how much gas goes up. He's like, Jesus.
But just the way that Keaton, when he had that black eye makeup all over his eyes, but and specifically when he would hit somebody, when he'd be like, he would have that Keaton face underneath the bat, like at the end when like Vicky Vale acts like she's gonna go down on Joker, and then Joker turns around, is like, let me ask you something. You ever dance with the devil, the Pamela? And then he makes that Keaton face, was like, ugh. And then he punches him. Oh, dude, that's Batman. That's fucking
dude.
Batman to me.
I loved it. Well, also I love the part where he took Vicky Vale back to the Batcave, and they're like, yeah, a lot of people think that you're like him too, Joker. And then he's like, he's psychotic. And it's like, some people say the same thing about you. And he's like, what people? I was like, dude, that is fucking so dead on Batman. It's like he is so obsessed with what he's doing. He never once thought or stopped to think about what the public persona or what the public mindset would be about him. And he's like, I'm just trying to help people, so I don't have time to deal with their foolishness. And he's like, what people? Like, and he's also kind of saying like what Batman would, like what people that matter. Like, obviously the media is always going to run away and try to paint whatever negative story they can, but I've been helping Gotham citizens for a long time. Dude, Michael Keaton, I think Michael Keaton did, I think, honest to God, I think he did the best with the duality as one could think, because he really is different when he plays Bruce Wayne. It is very different than when he plays Batman.
Yeah, he naturally, he's a dark, he seems like a dark dude. And also, dude, I think that this Batman,
no, he's white. So
I think this Batman has the best, he has the best appearances, like the best like show up on screen appearances. Now Bale had some great ones in The Dark Knight where he'd show up, but like the way that this Batman shows up in the smoke, or like and he like pops out of the smoke, or like floats down, or when he pops out in the library scene when he pops through the glass, this Batman in that suit, I think the suit helped a lot. That's my favorite bat suit of all time.
I would say yes, but I think that they actually, I think in Batman Returns they did a better job with the suit, but they kept the same aesthetic
between the two. Yeah, but they're almost the same suit.
Well, no, because the second suit, the whole ab thing on his stomach is gone.
But Keaton in general has the best suit.
The same, dude, I really do love Michael Keaton as Batman. I mean, to me, he's always going to be the best Batman too. I'm always going to pick him. My brother Cody actually sent us a group message and was showing that poll, I guess, happened on Reddit, and they were ranking the Batman, or they're like, what's your favorite Batman? And Ben Affleck won by like 3% over Christian Bale.
Shocking.
Yeah, and I was fucking like, Christian Bale, dude, what the fuck fucking snorting coke did you do today?
That's
Michael Keaton video, was low. He was low. I'm like,
look,
I feel like these motherfuckers are like new gen people that liked Batman. They never really went back and watched the Michael Keaton Batman. And if they
think they're basing it
so old.
No, I think they're basing it on the movies, dude. I think that when people do that, like regulars, like randos or whatever, they base it on the movies. So like, if you look at like, hey, what's the best Batman? And they think, oh my God, it's the Christopher Nolan Batman series. So definitely it's Christian Bale. But when you look at the Batman performances on their own as a whole, I think it's hard to say. And let's save that for another video, because I feel like a Batman ranking video would be especially fun, after Pattinson's Batman comes out. But like,
you know what, Mike? I think you're a vicious bastard. And I'm glad you're dead. You're a vicious bastard, and I'm glad you're dead. Dude, I always thought that was funny. Also, I was like, come on, you gruesome son of a bitch. Come on. And then he pulls out the biggest, longest cock gun I've ever seen. And he shoots it.
I know.
By the way, Batman's a terrible shot. It reminded me of Dumb and Dumber. He's like, Harry, you're alive, and you're a terrible shot. Batman had 4 missiles and 2 Gatling guns and missed every fucking shot at Joker. Well, by the way, I love how people always blame Zack Snyder that he made Batman a killer and Superman. Literally, in this movie, they were trying to kill Joker. He did kill Joker, and in Batman Returns, he set a motherfucker on fire. So let's get off that horse.
Not just that, dude. He drives into a warehouse. By the way, that scene is unheraldly badass. Right before the penultimate scene, Batman tries to cut off the whole parade situation. He drives the Batmobile. By the way, between this and Returns,
No, he didn't drive it, man. That was remote controlled.
No, he was in there at first. Like he drove it in, and then he put the shields on.
He was never in there.
Either way. I don't want to get hung up on specifics here. But the car goes into that facility, and he drops the bomb. Okay. All these bad guys are around, and then you just see the explosion go off and the Batmobile drive off. He killed motherfuckers in there. He blew them up.
Yeah. I don't think you blew up a chemical factory. I don't think people are gonna walk away with a scrape on their knee.
Don't tell me Batman doesn't.
You literally just you dropped the bomb at that one poor schmuck's foot, and he's like, huh? And then it blew up. But yeah, dude. Look, I got to be honest. Like the whole fucking movie, dude. Like top to bottom is perfectly cast. Even Jack, not Jack. Bob. Like even though you don't even know his
His little
fucking
mullet
last
cut.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob. I think I liked it, and they even sold a toy of him because he was like memorable in the movie.
Yeah.
I
And
feel
Kim
like what Tim
Basinger was a
Burton.
great Vicky Vale.
Yeah, Kim Basinger was great. Knox
Alfred
was
fucking great.
Alfred was awesome. He's not my favorite, but he was really good. I think
Yeah.
but there's a certain aesthetic that works for the first movie anyway. And it blends in, like I said, the fantasy, strange, out there type Tim Burton imagination, but it also brings in the realism and the groundedness. And you're like, I like like it's like a weird. Well, you guys have seen Labyrinth. It's kind of like I'm not saying it's that weird, but it's kind of on that level of like strange and like this makes me feel funny, but I like it. And it's fucking Batman, so I love it.
Yeah. I think what happened, dude, is that we got lucky enough. And a lot of times fans were so like pissed, like, oh man, I wish so and so would do this, or I wish we could have gotten this. I think we forget to appreciate what we have. And what we have here, we're so fucking lucky that what we got Tim Burton and not today's everything's Johnny Depp CG fuck.
No,
Whatever,
it was OG Tim Burton.
Right. We got prime, like fucking prime at the height of his
that motherfucker
fucking
had a big dick.
Yeah, we got prime Tim Burton when he was prime movie making material, making a Batman film when superhero movies barely existed, and we got Michael Keaton in his prime to play Batman. We got Jack Nicholson around his prime to be the villain, and like all that coagulated into this movie that was this original little weirdness. Like, and think about this, dude. Like,
but you know what? It works perfectly for Batman because a Batman would be weird. He'd be strange. He'd be a strange cat.
It was it's a perfect storm. But that's what I'm saying. Like when you look at movies today, and I think we all feel this way. We're tired of IP. We're tired of everything's got to be superhero, got to be this and that. Yeah, we lived in a time. Yeah, we lived in a time where we got a superhero movie that also just happened to be, by the way, a fucking completely original movie. Yeah, so like really that tied in with like, and then we're not even touching so much like the fact that the Joker crime spree that he went through with the
hairspray and the deodorant, that was fucking scary because that could happen.
Exactly. And people want to say that, oh, we've never seen a detective Batman on screen. Bitch, it was in 89. He had to figure out that, oh, you mix the hairspray with the lipstick and that's what's killing
it happens
people.
in combinations. Batman had a giant computer. Batman was so smart back then, he was connected to AOL. And no one else understood what the internet was. And he already had it. By the way, I got to say also, throw out some love to Billy D. Williams as Harvey Dent.
Yes.
So good. So good.
I would love to see him.
I also want to point this out. I want to point this out. Came out in 1989. No one gave a fig Newton that he was black. And he was playing.
Oh, today it'd be woke.
No, but it's not woke at all. It was like, hey, they picked the character or they picked an actor that was good for the part. Billy D. Williams was fucking awesome. He was really good. He was a smooth talking type of dude that could play that. And I think I read somewhere that as far as I think they asked about why Billy D. Williams didn't come back as Two-Face because that was the obvious route. Billy D. Williams. Mentioned I'm sure it's on the intranets, so but I think he said that I think there was going to be a cameo by him in the second movie, and then but he'd only signed up contractually for the first movie, so there was never any type of stipulation that he was going to come back for more movies. But then before Tim Burton was released, that there was talks of making him be the main villain in Tim Burton's Batman 3, and they were going to use the Batman 89 as a springboard, build up the Billy D. Williams, Harvey Dent character, and then go from there. But
if they could have figured it out, dude, to bring back Burton and Keaton and everybody and kept that storyline going,
I would, you know what, and in today's world with everything that's crazy now, I mean, who knows? I would love to see Tim Burton finish his trilogy. If he had a trilogy in mind for his Michael Keaton Batman, I would pay top fucking dollar to see his conclusion.
Now Burton gets a little bit too Burton-y with Batman Returns, but we'll talk about that in the next stream when we
Yeah,
review
he
Batman
cast Pee Wee
Returns.
Herman as Penguin's
Yeah,
fucking
he got
mom or
yeah,
dad.
too much. One thing I do want to mention though, before we finish this review off, is though Keaton is not my favorite Bruce Wayne, not by any fault of his, just by natural, just the way he is, and the way you see Bruce Wayne, is the scene specifically, dude, in Vicky Vale's apartment when Joker shows up and he's there.
Nuts.
That scene is so cool, dude, because like he's the perfect Bruce Wayne in that scene because he shows up and like Joker's there with all of his henchmen, and he doesn't even know who Bruce Wayne is. He doesn't know Keaton is Bruce Wayne because this is before the internet and shit. And Bruce Wayne just walks in there and he's like, "Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm that guy." And he's like, never rub another man's rhubarb. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that was so good. But when Keaton walks in there, dude, he's such a badass in that scene. He's like, I knew this guy. He's like, couldn't see a train coming 2 feet in front of his face. And then
he's like, I like him already.
Yeah. And then when he grabs that poker and he's like, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." That was one of the most ballsy Bruce Wayne sequences ever seen on screen. And I loved it.
I liked Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne though. I think he was disarming, and I don't think like again, I think the more poignant scene that he did portray Bruce Wayne like in a way that people would never think that could be Batman is when Vicky Vale meets him at the party that he's throwing. And then she asks, "Do you know Bruce Wayne?" He's like, "Yeah." And he's all like geeky and he doesn't know. And then when he's walking behind them, observing all of his statues and shit, and then he speaks up and he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, give Knox a grant."
What do you think? 6?
6. And then Doc's like, "Yes, yeah, 6 is good."
Yeah.
But dude, I mean, I think Michael Keaton is he's always going to be my Batman. Faux show. Yeah. Like when I hear R. Kelly singing about Gotham City, fuck George Clooney. I'm thinking about a city of justice. I'm thinking about Michael Keaton coming back. But then again, you know who is also, and this movie is forthcoming for sure. And I did see somebody had mentioned it before. Val Kilmer was an incredible Batman.
Oh yeah, and we'll get to that.
Incredible Batman.
Yeah, I think he did a great job for sure.
But either way, I love Michael Keaton, man. I still think that Michael Keaton is number one in my hearts and farts. But you all might be surprised about if we rank these because it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be the standard.
Lots of rankings
because I could see Val Kilmer could sneak up there and give a good old punch to the cockhole, and you'd be like, huh? But yeah, he snuck up and hit you in the taint. But I will say also, gotta throw this in. Not only was the movie acted well, top to bottom, everybody did a great job. Danny Elfman, the fucking music, dude,
original as fuck,
forever iconic.
And again, you're talking about an era that all we knew about Batman music was dun 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 Batman, and he brings this entirely new thing, and just
dude,
I almost the intro's going through that logo. Oh my god.
Dude, I do it the same fucking way. The same way. Dude, I turned it on. April was opening up the pizza box and showcasing the bat signal thing.
Yeah.
And then that music came on. I was like, shh. Fucking pay respect.
Yeah.
I was like, pay respect. Because when you hear that music, you have to pay respect.
It's
like hearing a Catholic bell. Dude. You gotta get on one knee and be like, respect.
It's the suck zone back to 1989. It really is.
And dude, it's not only that. Like I remember, as a kid, I didn't get teary-eyed, but as an adult or as a teen going into an adult, that very fucking last sequence, dude, was like, banana, and then it's going up the tower, and he's standing there, and you see it's like, boom, and you hear the cowbell thing. I'm like, I fucking cry. I was like, that's Batman. That's the real Batman. Because like he's standing on the top of the skyscraper and he's looking at the new bat symbol, and then that music it swells up to the last.
The entire thing, man, like from him appearing in the smoke, that suit is just goddamn, that suit's perfect, dude. And he's so cool in it, the way he just pops up and like high kicks someone in the face or punches somebody. Yeah. And then that ending scene, like the reason I give it a 9.5, by the way, and not a 10 in my older age is because there are some problems with it. Like,
well, you can see you're old.
I know. Yeah, I'm a little bit cynical, but you can see strings. There's some scenes that are off a little bit. The pacing gets a little bit fucking off. But dude, oh my god! And the Prince soundtrack, by the way, black and white,
Red and green.
green. Da-da-da.
The funkiest thing you ever seen. I love that part when he walks into the museum and he's like, Lawrence, and then he hits the fucking jukebox.
Yeah. And then the museum scene where that green paint just splashing on those paintings, that whole thing, like,
Oh,
goddamn.
hell, the new king in town. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, just like everything from the color of the face masks. There's just so much beauty. Like we could talk about this movie for 10 hours and not really get to the bottom of it.
But
like,
I think what we could close it with, or we could understand, I think that everybody could agree. Well, maybe not everybody, but at least in this particular instance, that, or a few of you guys, Tim Burton understood Batman. Like I figure that he he approached the project as like, Batman is a larger than life figure. He comes from a very strange world with these strange villains. Like it's not just Joker. It's, the Scarecrows, and it's the Mr. Freezes, and it's the Two-Faces. It's this very strange world. So obviously the how we have to film this is a very Alice in Wonderland type of adventure that, at least for the viewers, will look at it and be like, that's weird. It's kind of weird, but
dude, his Gotham was
well, you never
like,
figure out the time,
never
because people are like,
recreated.
what year does Gotham take place? And you don't know, because there's different car models, and then it's different, the whole thing. I love it. I love the weirdness to it. Now, again, I know you mentioned it before, Batman Returns, it goes a little bit off rails, and you're like,
he's a little too Burton-y.
You're like,
but hey, and again, like just one thing I want to finish my thought on is, like, the reason I give it a 9.5 out of a 10 watching it today is there is little things, like, I think the pacing is a little fucked up towards the end. Like, when we get to the movie's just on a fucking crash course for awesome, right? And then he's like, the old Dukaroo, me and him, and then he the awesomeness of what Joker's doing to the whole city and all that. And then you've got this whole scene where he's like, I'm going to drop $20 million or whatever it was on the town. And then and then Batman's flying in it. You're like, oh my God, the Batcopter. Are you shitting me? What the, not Bat, but the Bat plane. You're like, this is too fucking cool for school. But then when it lands and they go inside, like, the castle or whatever, like the church, I felt like they killed the pacing a little bit. Like, I felt like they stopped and did way too much extra shit and didn't really, like, hit the fucking gauntlet. That fight lasted a little bit too long. The whole thing, I think they suck their own sales out of their own wins. That's probably not the right way to say that.
Yeah. I hate when I do that.
A couple tiny pacing issues, right? With it. And just a couple tiny little defects here. But dude, like, no problem with it being a 10 for anybody, but it's a 9.5 for me. I
love I love the fact that when they, I'll admit that it's strange that all of a sudden it becomes like a Van Helsing, Bram Stoker kind of tale. They go to a gothic looking church, and that's going to be the final confrontation between the monster and Batman. But then again, I mean, we're like Beauty and the Beast in our opinions, but if anyone else called you Beast, I'd tear their lungs out from them.
Well, it'd be like watching someone paint the Mona Lisa and complaining about this brushstroke or that.
Yeah,
stroke.
I feel like it all just made sense at the end. I don't know. I feel like what they were trying to do, like, a very comic book ending, and it did feel like a very Frank Miller type of ending. And actually, that's what the writer wanted to go for. He was trying to go for the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns type of scenario, and
I think that's it. I think the final fight could have been a little cooler. That's all. I just think it could have been done better, just a little bit. But that's it.
But yeah, at the end of the day, man, Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson they're phenomenal. I mean, they played off each other really well. They worked together in the scene. The chemistry was on point. The chemistry between all the cast members were on point. Like, I felt like it was a very organic, naturally evolving movie that works. Yeah. And that's not, you can't say that for every big budget movie. And this was a big budget movie for its time. I mean, it swelled to $40 million in 1989. It made $400 million, which is a lot of money in 89. But Yeah, dude.
The cla-
I feel like this movie overall, dude. I feel like this is one of those few movies for me, anyway, that I can watch any day of the week and be just as entertained as the first time I ever watched it.
Yeah. I think it's one of those rare movies, dude, that it's a classic and yet it's also somehow underrated. Like, because I think that people forget the time that we were in, what it took to make this movie, the foresight, the originality, like the
And how hard it
beauty.
was to get the movie made. I mean, you got
Yeah.
50,000 fucking signatures sent to Warner Brothers that said, fuck your goddamn movie.
Dude, you know how lucky we are as a fucking human race that this movie exists, that we got this at that time and it's this fucking good. Like, I'm talking about like 1,000 stars had to align. Tim Burton in that little special point of his career.
Yeah.
Michael
Yeah,
Keaton,
just
like,
done Beetlejuice. Yeah, that's it.
the special effects team, the people who did the makeup,
Yeah.
the people who built the bat suit. If that bat suit looked fucked up, the movie, there's 1,000 billion things that could have gone wrong, and this movie wouldn't have worked.
Do you ever think about?
Damn, did it work?
You ever imagine like how fucked up it would have been if the studio had got its way, and it had been like a Christopher Reeve, say Ivan Reitman had directed
This town
bitch.
needs an enema.
Yeah. Bill Murray had been Batman, and then Eddie Murphy had been Robin, and then you'd cast some fucking jokey motherfucker. People, Batman would have been dead for fucking years.
Yeah, dude.
It would have been like a complete disaster show. But yeah, I think that we were very lucky. I think, yeah, you're right. The stars aligned, and we got the right people to be in the right positions to make this movie happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved it, dude. I think it's a 10, and I think that what's really special about this movie is that if there were no other Batman movies that ever happened after this movie, I feel like this movie is a perfect representation of what Batman should be and always will be.
Well, fucking said, man. Hey, I'm glad as fuck that you and I got to grow up with this as our childhood superhero movie. We're lucky for that.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't oversaturated, but we got this beautiful, weird, dark film. And I can't wait to talk about Batman Returns.
It made my wiener feel weird.
Dude, like you're climbing the rope in gym class. All right, we're going to get to these super chats before we get out of here. James Smith with the big fucking super chat.
You married Pocahontas. You weird fuck.
That's John Smith, you cunt. James Smith, though.
Oh, that's his cousin. That's his cousin.
James John Jingleheimer Smith.
Yeah, they're all the same.
He says, saw Batman opening weekend at the drive-in. Oh, man. You imagine seeing Batman opening fucking weekend. Oh, my God. Became obsessed with it and all things Warner Brothers. 12 years later, I started working for Warner Brothers Production and spent 10 years there. Batman dictated the course of my life. Love you guys and keep the great stuff coming. That's cool.
That's a cool story, dude. Like, now that is a come from behind and take it, Rocky. Yeah. Take it.
That's the thing, man.
That's awesome.
That's the thing. I've had a lot of apple juice tonight, but I do want to say, James, that's what's beautiful about this shit. You found something, you loved it, you literally built a career on it. That is sexy. And James, I like it. And I moved to strike.
I like your moves, and I like what you did in your life. And you know what you said to yourself, James, when you looked in that mirror, you said, roads? Where were we going? We don't need roads. And you did it. You did it.
You said,
crazy son of a bitch. You did it.
Fuck them kids. Seriously, man. Thank you for that super chat. Really appreciate it. And that's an awesome fucking story, dude. To boot. Gary says, Robert Englund voiced Scarecrow in Injustice, Gods 2. He's also my fan cast for the movies. And Brad Dourif is my choice for the ventriloquist.
Actually, strangely, Brad Dourif was another name that was actually considered for Joker, which I can never not. Well, he's an awesome actor, but I don't know if Brad Dourif really would have pulled off Joker in the way that I want Joker. Brad Dourif would have been a great Penguin.
Exorcist 3. I'm thinking Exorcist 3.
He's a great actor. I think that Brad Dourif could pull off Penguin though.
Yeah,
like more of a mob guy that becomes Penguin, and then he has to, deal with
That's an actor there. He could probably pull off.
Brad Dourif could pull it off. But I mean,
Austin, thanks, buddy. He says, you guys notice how Ghostface always stabs people prison style? Only horror icon to do that. I did not notice that, Austin. I never noticed that. He's always got the.
What do they mean?
Like when I think prison style, I think the old like in the side, you know, the old shiv.
Yeah, I always think of a dick in the butt and then a stab in the front.
Andy Dufresne died that day. A. Davis, thanks, buddy. He says Michael Keaton wanted to be Joker originally. That I cannot see.
No, I don't know, dude.
Actually, maybe I can't. It's too Beetlejuicy though.
Well, I'm not gonna say that I know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure that's not true.
Hey, let's say this. Thank God Tim Burton's not directing Batman's today because Johnny Depp would be Batman, Joker, and the Riddler at the same fucking time.
Well, you know, imagine this: if Charlie Sheen had been cast as Batman.
I love Charlie Sheen, but
what
a
weird goddamn world we live in.
Yeah. A. Davis says, gut feeling that Robert Pattinson will be the GOAT. I don't think he'll be the GOAT, but I think he'll do great.
I feel this man's energy. I feel like we have come to an agreement somewhere in the cosmos, and I don't know who you are, but I feel like you and I are of the same cock. And I feel like you may be telling the truth. Dude, I got this weird. Well, yeah, maybe they're both small, but I feel like there's this weird feeling, dude, that Robert Pattinson might be the number one.
I cannot go on this mountain with you, but I do think he'll do.
Ben Affleck is always going to be the dude. I don't know, but there's something about Robert Pattinson. You know what? Here's the thing. I'm gonna refrain from talking too much more because we haven't seen the movie.
Yeah,
but the trailers look really good with Robert Pattinson, and you know why I want Robert Pattinson to succeed so much is because there's been so much negative Nancy bullshit going on. Yeah. I want him to be the best Batman of all time. Just to shut their fucking lips.
Yeah. Look, I think if you end your ranking above Val Kilmer, who I think was a good Batman, I think that you've done a great job. You know, so I think that he may be better than Kilmer. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Frankenstein Studio, thank you so much, man. He says, I feel like I remember it being said that Billy D would have had Christopher Walken's role in Returns, and Walken's death scene would have been slightly different to instead be the Two-Face origin.
What I think what they said was that Billy D was going to show up as I think he was only going to be a cameo, but they had planned on him having a more significant role in like a third movie. But also I saw that, or I remember reading Billy D only signed up for one movie, but there were plans for his character to evolve. Dude, you know what's weird is
we missed out on that.
Well, Tim Burton already had the foresight of like Kevin Feige.
Yeah,
he was already world building
before that.
You know, he's like, hey, I'm going to introduce this character, and then people will remember him from '89, and then I'm going to maybe cameo him or give him a little scene, like 10-minute scene in Batman Returns, and then in Batman Forever, he becomes Two-Face.
Dude, I think we missed out. Like, if I'm learning anything from this and thinking, I think we missed out. I think Billy D. Williams, I'll say it right now, I think he would have been the best Two-Face on record over Tommy Lee or Aaron Eckhart. I think he would have fucking nailed that.
I think so, dude. He looked the part. He played the part. He had this smooth, suave thing to him. That was the whole thing about Two-Face, and that's why it's such a weird like transition to the villain. Is like he was a very good. I like Aaron Eckhart. Aaron Eckhart did his job, but Billy D. Williams had this vulnerability about him that Aaron Eckhart doesn't have. Like, you trusted that dude. Like, there's something about Billy D. Williams that really was innately, you got pulled to it. And then to see him to become villain, it would be really cool. And then, honestly, Tim Burton would have been the first guy ever in a comic book movie to build that up. Because he would have had him to show up in the second one, and then finally in the third one, he becomes Two-Face.
That would have been sexual, dude. Hey.
And dude, by the way, how much boner would you have if Christopher Reeve, because there was rumors about this, Christopher Reeve Superman had crossed over with Michael Keaton's Batman? Would that not be the greatest crossover? Yes, I feel the time. I feel the time. It makes the body go numb. No, dude, it hurts. Would it not have been the best crossover of all time?
It would have been great. I don't think that we appreciate that we got Ben Affleck's Batman versus Henry Cavill's Superman enough.
No, it was good,
but I do think that would have been amazing. Yeah,
Christopher Reeve Superman crossing over with Michael Keaton's Batman in the early '90s.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. And I agree with Stephanie for once in my life. Smash that like button like you smash your lovers. Clap them cheeks. Clap them like cheeks.
We got to get out of here, guys.
That subscribe sheet. Yeah, my tip hurts. King of Evil's Granendorf Jagmeyer is going to have the last
Stop
of the night. Thank you. Says, I'm still alive. Myers took a long time. No CJ and Mike. I've been watching your Michael videos and Dr. Loomis skits lately. They're my favorites of the channel. I'm sorry I've been around for a bit. Don't you fucking worry about it. We still love you, and we're still going to sleep with you and make out while we eat candied apples on top of a mountain wearing a skirt.
Yeah, what he said.
Blacked out.
And by the way, get a job, you asshole. Stop staying in the shadows like a woman. Are you a woman? Do you cook turkey?
Hey, we love you guys. Look forward to
Hey,
every single
love
one
you
of
guys,
these.
man. Yeah, for
Tonight
sure.
was no goddamn different. We'll see you guys super fucking soon. And have a great night, my friends. Love you
Yeah,
all.
we gotta go
Thanks.
on. Oh, this apple juice is making my brain hurt.
Dude, my fucking dick hurts so bad. It's full of pee. I
Mine
gotta
too.
go.
It's
I
starting to
gotta
hurt a
go
little bit
right
too.
now. Love you all. Have
Bye,
a great
guys.
night. Thanks. Thank you all for spending your time with us. We really
Yeah,
do.
it was really
appreciate
fun.
it.
We
Yeah.
like this kind of open forum.
Fuck yeah. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.